Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
Secured Roofing and Solar. They were advertisers and sponsors of our Bad Business Beer Fest.
Yeah, it was nice to have them out there, right? Yeah, man.
And we'll give you the number to the owner's son. His name is Jake. His number is 407-403-8038. You could text or call him for any of your roofing needs, whether you need a roofing inspection. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you go to securedroofingandsolar.com, you could go enter your information. You can get a free roof inspection and have some professional tell you if you if you're going to need a new roof, if there's damage
but
from
let
the
them
storms.
Let them know you're a BDM. Let them know you're a listener, because that is that is the way that you'll get better treated, and that's the way that they know that you're listening.
Yeah, 100%. I got my roof through Secured Roofing. So did Mo DeWitt. So did a bunch of BDMs and listeners.
Yeah, man.
And if you need, like, let's say a storm comes by, you need any emergency tarping, they'll come up there. They'll tarp your roof within 24 or 48 hours. And if you have any solar questions, give them a call as well. And again, talk to the owner's son, Jake, 407-403-8038. That's our contact. He'll hook you up at securedroofingandsolar.com.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Turkey and dressing and pie and cake.
And fruit salad and whipped cream and cranberries. Gee, I can hardly wait. Me too.
Well, children, we've had a lot of expenses this month, and, well, your father and I thought that... Well, the truth of the matter is, there just won't be any turkey this year.
Got him! Got him! Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, everybody. It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Joining us for news later will be Seth Petrozelli, but he's probably getting an MRI, maybe a rectal exam. He could be at an urgent care, LabCorp, Quest.
I am surprised every time I text him, like, semi-last minute to see if he can come in.
Nothing going on?
He always can, man.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, if someone
appreciate
texts
your flexibility, sir.
But if someone texts me last minute to come in and do something, I'm like, I'd never be able to do that. Like, so.
Well, you have a family. He doesn't have
And
a
a
family.
job.
Yeah, well, what is he
You
doing?
have a job and a family.
That he could just
He owns
take
businesses
2 hours
that
off.
make him money.
Yeah, he just delegates the work to other people and collects that check.
And he canoodles with the young women.
Does he even delegate?
Parties. He has a boat.
I don't know. I mean, it's still running.
Yeah, he's got business partners. He's got employees. Yeah, I mean...
Javier is running that whole damn thing.
Oh, yeah. Javier's he's a strong boy.
So,
welcome to the show, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving or Eve. Thanksgiving Eve, I should say.
We're doing our show a little bit early because of Thanksgiving and the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel will be at the Solar Bears game on Thanksgiving.
Me. Come buy your tickets. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, and if you want to buy a Tom and Dan Solar Bears t-shirt that Eric Merchman designed, it's on tomandan.com right now for pre-sale. We're only doing a small period of pre-sale.
Yeah, we should have been pushing this more because it ends tomorrow Thanksgiving at noon. So if you want this damn shirt.
We in the beginning we thought the pre-sale idea would be so great. It's only great if you tell people there's a pre-sale.
Maybe we should have extended.
But it is easy. Like when you set a pre-sale and then you don't talk about it, then no one buys, then there's not very much on the back end.
Yeah, and we've got women's shirts, kid shirts, and men's shirts for this.
We're going to do pets shirts for little dogs, little pee-pee dog shirts. Give them. Judy was in here. She's man,
Fred Oliver.
I hope I'm becoming Judy from Pet Rescue by Judy. I'm becoming that as an old man.
Also,
Just an FYI for the merch, if you order something, usually Eric's really, really fast on it, but shipping will be closed until Monday because he will be out of town.
What the fuck? I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But then on Monday, we're releasing all the merch that we had at our beer fest.
Yeah.
And by the way, thanks to everybody who came out to our
Yeah.
Bad at Business Beer Fest. It was a great,
And some
awesome-
of that merch was sugar gliders, and we'll be releasing how many? I think we've got over 180 sugar gliders we'll be releasing.
It was our best beer fest to date, so thank you guys for coming out. We did have to postpone Sofas and Suds, and we will announce the new date as we figured that out.
Yeah, we start hammering out the details. Also, go to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube at Tom and Dan Live. There's a brand new video that kind of recaps within 1 minute of some of the familiar faces that were at the beer fest. You might even find yourself.
So, real quick, I'm doing my annual Thanksgiving trip where we go four-wheel riding, and
I wish you said it a
RV
little
trip.
differently when you announce these. That you never come in like, hey, really excited. You know what I'm doing after the show today.
Well, I got worried because I think I'm having an orb relapse.
You've been doing really well.
Did it go away?
Well, I got a little bit of it.
That's true. There was a little
There's something
transition where things were going a little smoother.
Well, it's still happening to me. I have something that I'm going to reveal on the show today that my wife doesn't even know that has to do with the orb.
It never really totally goes away. Like, there's still some orb cells in my body.
Wait a
but
minute,
it's
it's
just
like a
in
flare-up.
remission.
It's like when you got herpes.
Yeah.
This is a flare-up.
Yeah, you could do things to mitigate the orb.
Abreva.
But
you put it all over your lips. Just cake it on your lips.
Once you got it, it's in there.
You got it.
It's
and then
in there.
it's up to you to find other people with it, and
Yeah,
that's the only people you can fuck are the other people with orbs. Oh my God, this is actually a pretty decent analogy. The herpes orb analogy.
Yeah, and it's with you till death.
Yeah, it never goes away. There's no cure for it.
But speaking of flare-ups,
But you can live.
People are saying that you brought sand back from Hawaii.
No, I didn't.
He didn't.
Well, I mean, in my
he did not bring it.
UFOs collected some.
Yeah. There's
Those
something
big old
in there.
UFOs are caked with it.
But I've been having a pretty good run with non-orb incidents.
You've been doing great.
In the past 6 months, I've noticed I'm like, man, I've been doing a lot of different things, and nothing totally chaotic has happened. And it's unstereotypical for me to have things going pretty smooth, even though I talk about a lot of things that go wrong. That's light for me. But usually it's total chaos.
I mean, there hasn't been. I mean, you got back from Hawaii. You don't remember there being total chaos.
Not that. It was a pretty good.
Let me go through the checklist here. I think there was a couple other ones where you went out and you'd come back and you're like, no, it was smooth
that
sailing.
RV trip
all
on the
was
summer.
good. Yeah,
that could have been real bad.
No.
I mean, that was going across I went up to a different time zone in Florida.
Yeah. No problem there.
I mean, there's a couple things here and there, but nothing. Like I said, no tragedy.
You did burn out your pool pump during the hurricane.
That's true. Yeah. But that's a light.
I feel like anybody could do that. That's not orb.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Well,
could
when
do
it's
that.
the 100th time Tom had to bail out his pool, you'd think he'd have it down by now.
Like I said, it's never totally gone. But okay, so a couple things that are not panning out to be the greatest as far as trips go.
Okay.
And there's a lot of
You guys do a lot to say that nothing moves the needle for your boys. You do a lot.
Well, that's why nothing moves the needle, because
Yes, I totally have
You
already
believe
brought
that?
this theory.
You think that the
They're
theory
spoiled with
is-
adventures, so nothing's in it.
Yeah.
They're sick of it.
Holy shit, I never thought about that.
If you go to the orphanage and then pick up a couple kids and then take
should
them
do
on
that.
one of my trips,
You should
they
do
need to
that.
blow their goddamn minds.
Yeah.
Because they've been
They're inundated with activities, adventures. They're in
Yeah.
golf class,
Hawaii,
skateboarding class, swim
helicopter
class,
here, going
Ninja
there.
Warrior class.
Yeah, it's nuts.
We're going on RV trips across the state.
Yeah, what are you running
going
from,
to
man?
fucking Hawaii.
What
at
are you
6 and 7
fucking
years
running
old.
from?
So, first off,
It's like celebrity kids, right?
what with
No, don't say that. That's insulting. Celebrity kids are jerks. They're not jerks.
They got time. They got time
Yeah,
to
they
become
do have
little
time.
Chet Hanks.
Oh my God, white boy summers for everyone.
Yeah.
So first off, there's been a shortage for RV share and outdoorsy and these
Well, what happened to all the people that bought them at the beginning of the pandemic? They're having to get rid of them now, right?
Well, yes, but I'm talking about the people that rent them out, and I think it's because it's gotten more popular. And at the initial surge, kind of like Uber, there was a lot of people doing it at first, and then people got tired of doing it. They're like, well, this isn't worth it. And like, and now the only one left doing it are the people that have to do it, or maybe the first timers. Same thing with the RV share, and it's gotten more popular, so more people are scooping them up. So the people that are still doing it, they're always rented all the time, right?
Oh my God, I never thought about the guys that really were making a nut on this and like it could snatch those up and almost like do a smaller Airbnb conglomerate of different RVs. That's interesting.
Now, a lot of people stopped doing it because they realized
it's a lot of work.
Well, people like me were ruining their shit, crushing stuff.
The gritty slide out. I forgot about the gritty slide out.
No one knows what they're doing.
Hold on a second. You said you were orb free, and I forgot about the slide out. You said was like just crunching aluminum. And,
that's every day of my life. So we had like Crystal.
The chat room is just saying, "Ooh, a T&D RV." You do know that was the original plan, right?
Yeah, that was
we
the
were
original
never supposed to have.
Air
I gotta yell this to the heavens. We were never supposed to have an Air T&D. We went straight from food truck to full-scale restaurant.
Food truck.
We went straight. No, I'm making the analogy that we ran before we could walk.
Okay.
We could have gone food truck, which would be RV, T&D RV share, but we didn't. We were right for brick and mortar. This'll work.
So,
and I was probably the main proponent.
So anyway, Crystal was going through it. Now, usually we rent an RV that's relatively short because she doesn't trust my driving skills and my towing ability.
Hey, shout out to short RVs. You know what they say?
Because of the orb, she's like, this is going to be a problem.
Well, how big is short? Like in RV land, what is considered
like 22, 24. She never goes.
We had a 28-foot.
Past 30. Yeah, I've done 27.
My dad always said the sweet man.
With tongue.
Here, once again, to conclude. Why did I say
wow.
I don't know. On the brain. No, to continue with more, it's you always have things in common with my dad. My dad, 28 feet, there was a sweet spot. He had a sweet spot for his mirrors, too. Also, with the sway bar and not getting caught in the wind, he liked a good old 28 was perfect.
So, Crystal...
Couple slide outs? What do you got here?
This time, the only thing available was a 32-footer, and I believe it's more with the actual, the tongue and everything, the 32-foot standard, and then you add a 5-foot with
and this is not a fifth wheel, which gives you the extra stability.
No.
This is blown over.
And so, then Crystal's like, can you tow this? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I can tow anything. I have the biggest toes.
Yeah, because that is part of the orb, is the overconfidence for no reason. And so I agreed to it. It's already set up. I'm picking up tomorrow morning. All right.
All right.
Now, by the way,
going to borrow somebody's 18-wheeler?
Well, speaking of borrowing, I also had to borrow a 4-wheeler because I don't want to buy one just for once a year. I'm going on this, Now,
believe it or not, that I agree with.
But
that would be stupid.
The whole scenario of me borrowing it from a BDM, and then I, for some reason, had to go to his house in the middle of the night last night.
That's when they like to do it.
2 nights
Why
ago.
do they always want to do it in the middle of the night? It's always
it was
past,
like he was hiding for
It's
something.
always past 9:30.
Probably because it's not his.
It's always past 9:30. Can't we do it closer to 5:30, 6:37? No, it's always past 9:30.
Pitch black.
I got it. The text was like, "I'll text you when I could, when you can come."
Yeah.
And then
turn your lights off when you pull in the driveway.
It was
What, are you
10:50.
sneaking into your girlfriend's house in high school?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't ask any questions, Sam. I want to borrow the 4-wheeler.
How you haven't been killed is amazing.
No, he's too dumb to be killed. It's just facts. Look it up. If you tell the person about it, if you show any fear in these type of, I've been on these with you, not very often, but I do know the rules of these.
Yeah.
And one of the rules is if you start asking questions, that person's going to think that you are untrustworthy and not part of that type of clique, and you're out. And they'll be like, no, you know what? Forget about it.
Yeah.
Just go home.
If I say this is too late or I can't, then the deal's off.
Yeah.
And it could be the sweet spot where tomorrow he can never return my call. So I don't.
I'm sure your wife loves this.
Well,
sometimes you don't tell her.
I mentioned.
Well, where are you going at 9:30 at night?
Where do you think? 7-Eleven for wine.
I had to make up some story.
But then she's tracking his location.
He probably lies about me. Daniel, I gotta go help him. He's kicking the dog.
He's finally lost it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, like it's kind of like when you don't want to tell your spouse you're having some other type of relapse where, like, all of a sudden you look down, your hands are shaking, you grab them, you're like, oh,
I do that every night at dinner.
I don't want my wife to know that it's coming back, you know? So I told Crystal, I made up a lie for the guy I'm borrowing the four-wheeler. I was like, you know, he works night shift.
He has a special needs kid. This is what makes us really pieces of shit. I would go and I'd be like, look, honey, he's got a special needs kid.
This is the only time I can.
And it's in hospice, and it's the only time they could come, and, you know, it's bad.
So I bring the four-wheeler back. This is a couple days ago. Then last night, I looked at the four-wheeler in my garage, and I looked up at the ignition, and I'm like, no key in there.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I borrowed the four-wheeler, like, well, first I pulled up, it's in the front of his lawn, and he's waving me over.
Oh, he hasn't told his wife he's letting you borrow it either.
Push it up.
Maybe like that.
Put these 4x4s down. All right, roll it out.
We're ass tulipping it up, and then up there, and then he's tapping on the go, and then I'm peeling out.
I'll text you when you get to the end of the block. But you can turn their lights on.
But I remember him yelling, "The keys in the ignition!" So I got
did
out.
It blow out of your?
Well, I took it out so it wouldn't blow out, and then I put it in my pocket. And then that's the last time I remember.
Everything goes to die in your pocket.
And so then
earbuds, weed pills,
eye
vitamins, coupons.
And then I'm like, what shorts was I wearing when I went and picked
You only
this
got
up?
3 pairs.
God help me if I was
it the
wearing
pink,
my
the
4
green?
inches. If he was wearing his 4 inches, the key's as good as gone.
So I'm looking in my truck. I'm thinking that it fell out in between the thing. I'm looking under my truck seat.
And that's a mess.
Oh, he told me he's looking under his truck seat.
Doritos bag.
No, he said he found an entire. Did you know that they had opened a True Leave under his truck seat?
I did not.
An actual dispensary under his truck seat.
Weed pills and peanut M&amps.
What more is there?
The best of it.
That's the
That's
only.
what my son.
Honestly, that's the only 2 things I eat anymore as a 46-year-old man are peanut M&Ms and weed pills.
And I can't find this anywhere. I'm looking through the laundry and stuff. And then Crystal notices that I'm just.
You borrow more for a person that either doesn't return things or destroys things that you borrow. You get a lot of things that are. You're allowed to borrow a lot of things.
Why does anybody let you borrow anything?
I know.
They keep letting me borrow it. Never the same person twice.
No.
Because there's a lot of people I can borrow from.
Just like PayPal doctors. Once it's used, it's used. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's done.
I can borrow one
time.
from one person.
Yeah.
Then it's never again. Then I go on to the next person. So anyway, I destroying the house an hour and a half last night, and then I started looking up like
tell me something?
How to hotwire it.
Can you please? Oh my God, it's not yours.
You're gonna ruin this guy's career.
Tell me something. Does Crystal know at this point what you're looking for?
Well, she only figured it. I tried to hide it as long as I can, but I started getting increasingly more and more mad at myself.
Like, what are you looking for? I'll help.
Yeah.
Because Maisie, oh my God, Andrea always does it. Andrea will be like, hey, what are you, like, I can't do a good nerd woman voice. She'll be like, hey, what are you doing? I'll help you out. And then she always helps. I'm like, I don't need your help. I'm fucking this up.
So I went one more time in the middle of the night looking at a flashlight, and I found it faced out, stuck like I stepped on it in the mud. Because now my front yard, they didn't.
What happened to the meadow?
Well, the grass didn't catch on one side, so it's now mud.
Grass apparently is tires now. It didn't catch.
Just go four-wheeling in your front yard.
The grass didn't catch. I've never heard that term before. Catch.
So I pulled it out of the mud and I was relieved. But then
did you tell the person that you?
No,
that
never
you cared
tell them.
so little for them, their friendship. And
they'll probably hear this.
Yeah, if they.
But then I'll tell them I just made it all up for the
it's
show.
All bullshit radio.
So that's what I tell everybody, even my wife, everybody. It was true though. 100%.
Did you rinse it off at least?
Well, I immediately put it into the ignition
to make sure it was the right one.
Yeah.
Did you turn it over to make sure it is the right one?
No, it was a good point. I didn't.
Yeah, because those keys will just go like. What if you get all the? I'm probably ruining the orb.
No, but what
I fight against the orb. I'm anti-orb.
But I did think I was like, well, that ain't good. That's not a good start.
This is a bad start.
And then I started thinking about
what else have you forgotten? What else is in the mud?
Well, I'm thinking about going and picking up this RV tomorrow morning, and it's the 32-footer plus extra, 36 or whatever.
You're more of an 18-foot guy.
And then I'm like, that's a long ass thing to tow, and I'm like,
that's a big Lamborghini right there, buddy. Ooh, that's a big Lamborghini.
And then I'm like, I hope, because I start thinking, okay, remember the cruise ship captain that ran aground, right?
Well, he was waving to his girlfriend.
And I
think that's what he was doing.
We all saw that story and heard it, waving at the girlfriend.
And you got to look at the intent. He didn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
He really didn't.
Accidental murder.
And he was a coward. He didn't run. Remember, he ran. To get,
I'll run.
He was an
I love
accidental.
running.
He was an accidental murderous coward.
But I feel okay. So far, okay.
Get it all
but
out.
He was. I mean, before that, he wasn't an accidental murderous coward.
No, he was
but
just a captain.
All it took is one incident to become
He's
a
horny.
murder coward, right? So then I think to myself,
how horny are you?
Well, pretty
horny.
I start thinking, I'm like, well, how did that guy get to the point where he was allowed to drive or captain a gigantic mega cruise ship?
He must have been at some point. He must have had the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, and
he must have lucked out through various stages of his captain career.
We got Captain Luck over here.
Captain Luck.
And maybe you've come close. Maybe the RV grill came flinging out when you turned a corner and almost nailed the mailbox.
Could have been the only captain available.
Yeah, maybe you almost ripped the air conditioner off on a couple of years ago in a tree because you didn't know the height requirement. You know, like.
Are you talking about RVs or cruise ships?
Well, I'm talking the analogy between maybe he went through a bunch of close calls through his career and finally got to a point where he's driving a cruise ship, waving at his gun and
it was an
accidental murder, right? And because then he's sitting and the cops are putting the goddamn blanket over him and they're screaming in Italian.
Coward. You left the boat before families did.
Why did you do this? How did you run aground? Like there's a computer. Yeah.
So I think that was actual audio.
And so then I think, could I at one time or in the future be an accidental murdering coward? Like I didn't mean to do it.
Couple things
but
I would say.
Told my wife I could pull a 36-foot trailer.
Do you have the sway bar thing? The one that goes. Okay, like there was this bar.
They got it.
There was this bar that my dad had. That like you'd put it on the hitch, and when we got to a bigger trailer, not when we had little trailer, we had little
sway
trailer.
Bar.
Yeah, and it was like a bar, and then he would ratchet it, and it was greased.
Yeah.
And it would move back and forth, and he would grease it, and then he'd ratchet it till it like got enough tension on it. And then it would like hold it, and then and that was like an important thing. And then you put the linch pins through it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you put the double safety chains.
Yeah. The chains, the pins, the sway.
You got all that. If you got all that,
I mean, I don't have it, but usually the person that gives it to me, he tells me.
Well, you need a special little ball because the sway bar goes onto the hitch, and then it goes onto you. And there's a special ball that it goes on, and then you put the linch pin through.
Yeah. They tell. I get there. The guy tells me the pins and all that.
Okay.
I look at YouTube. I find it. Anyway, what I'm
there is a chance. Yes.
Guessing is how many people in the world have reached like a level, because like I feel like it happened with this cruise ship captain, right? They got to a level where everybody believed they knew what they were doing, but they got to that level.
Our podcast is that level. Because people see these beer fest events and they think we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We go on Doc. I was going to say Doc and Johnny. We go on Johnny's house. That's how old I am. We go on Johnny's house. We have like important friends. You know, we're doing live on live with the news junkie. People are talking to me. They're like, "Oh, you guys look like you know what you're doing." We have no idea what we're doing.
So, but
no idea.
Is that the norm?
Yeah, it's the norm. I've learned that through the pandemic.
Okay, all right.
The pandemic peeled the curtain back, and now I looked at the world during the pandemic, and I'm like, not one motherfucker knows what. No one, very few.
Okay,
10% of the world knows what they're doing. The rest, no one knows what the fuck. 15. I'll give them 15. 15% of the world knows what they're doing, and they're holding it together. The rest of us are just fucking it all up.
We're faking it.
That got me more scared because I'm like,
that's why I'm scared all the time.
What's the worst that can happen? Where are you going? How far are you going?
I mean, the Brooksville, so it's like it's not that far, but
Single lane snaps off on the highway.
Yeah, it's like the wind blows.
It's not supposed to be super windy, is it? What's the weather like this weekend?
Not good. Tomorrow.
It's just
scattered thunderstorms.
Like I say with everything, with all these things, I just imagine a police officer or someone telling me, "Why did you think you could do this?" Like you don't know about the 34-foot rule.
There's no rules.
There's
with
no
campers,
rules.
There's not. You know this.
It's just willy nilly. Is everybody like me? I feel like some of these guys, the guys I rent from, they're like nerd dads that knew all the shit, and they are going through checklists and telling me about shit I don't even know what they're talking about.
There's a new Can-Am, I think. It's a new side-by-side that I saw driving by some power sports place.
Yeah.
It is the biggest, most aggressive Like, the tires are larger than me. It's huge. It's a full-size car, but it's a side-by-side. Have you seen this thing?
I think so.
It's humongous. And I guarantee you that any fat mom who just got a check from the government, and I used mom and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to look for a stereotype of who wouldn't know how to drive that, right? Mm-hmm. Just think, she decides she's done with crafting and wants to go into the side-by-side game. It is not illegal for fat mom to go down there with a check for $22,000 and hand it to Kirby down at Seminole Power Sports and buy a death machine, dude. And there boats, camper, none of it. There's no rules for any of this. And I know you're the type of person where you don't want those rules, right? Neither do I. Because that's part of the joy of being an American is that you can get a crazy boat and then end up on qualified captain. You can get a 32-footer and pull it, and you can literally have it turn over. It seems like we shouldn't be able to. It does seem that way. I believe that I can buy a limousine. I think I can. Remember when I was joking about wanting a white limousine? I think I can buy one and give it to Maisie as her first car, and there's no law. And she could just be killing everyone around Baldwin in a big-ass limit. Like, I think I could give it to her at 16, and there's no law against that.
Like, I'm showing up tomorrow at this guy's house, and I'm borrowing his 32-plus-foot camper RV, and then he's, like, explaining it to me, and he just lets me drive away with it. You'll be fine. And then he takes my word that I know how to do it, because I tell him, I'm like, I've done this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
mirrors?
Right. Yeah. Like,
right?
Mirrors,
You got the extensions.
No. I don't need that.
Oh, my God. I had them.
I don't need that.
I sold them in the estate sale. I had like 5 different kinds of extended mirrors that go on your car so you can see everything around you.
No.
Okay. All right. Wow. All right. Okay, that's fine.
I just get there, and then I know.
Okay. All right.
So all I'm saying is listen to the BDM show.
Oh, man.
Because I'll tell you
if there is one, right?
Is my wife? Yeah, she's still in there. My wife is still in the chat room. Well, I'll just go ahead. Do you want me to admit it before we get a break?
No. Well, yeah.
Or do you want to take a break and then come back and I can talk about it?
Well, she
doesn't know this yet, and I figured.
Let's talk about it now because I know Seth is on his way. He's gonna come here after the break.
Okay. So. Doing normal dad stuff, and I have to admit something, and I don't know what ramifications this will have on my house, my home, my dwelling. But in the same bathroom where I've notoriously flushed candy wrappers, and Andrea got mad, I was in there, and I'm watching football, and me and Dansby, we have an area where the balcony boys, BOWCKNEEBOYZ.
Okay.
Balcony boys. We're the balcony boys. We have a gang. We have a club. We sit out there like old men, and we watch football. He's my best friend. I love him so much.
Okay.
And
old man sits on a porch with his dog. Okay. Okay.
Yells from his balcony.
Yeah. So I needed a new cold beer. And I have a little ice bucket that fits 3 ice cold Coors Lights in it. Like, I'm really becoming your grandfather. And they just not as tough. And I'm becoming your gay grandpa. and I put the 3 beers in there. And so I needed a couple new beers for my ice bucket.
Yeah.
And I needed to use the restroom. And Dansby usually, tags along. And he's a little rambunctious. I'm still trying to train him. Like, my newest trick I'm teaching him is take it nice. That's the new one. Take it nice.
Okay.
Take it nice. And he'll get the toy next to him. I got take it nice, and I'll be like and he'll tiny tooth it, and I'm like because it's practical, right? Like I figure if I can teach him to not snatch anything or bite any, right? That's a good. I think that's practical.
Yeah.
So I taught him the tiny tooth. It's working great. I go to the bathroom. What's better when you're watching football and you're having a couple Coors Lights? Dumping a little medical marijuana on top of it. A couple little toot.
Yeah.
So I dropped as I was standing there, Dansby's getting rambunctious. And I'm tooting as I'm standing up, but I was sitting down to pee because I don't know if you're like me. It's just easier. You keep everything in the bowl. You don't have to shake really or anything. It's just easier. Yeah. He gets all up in my underwear because it smells. So he's tangling me. And I'm going to literally, he's literally the size of an NFL football. And he's getting all, so I set him out. I get up. I'm going to wash my hands, but I have my vape pen kind of hanging out of my mouth. As I'm flushing it, I drop my vape pen, and it sucks my entire vape pen I flush my vape pen down the toilet. Entire vape pen.
It made it past.
What are those called?
A curve.
A 518, a 518?
No, I don't know.
Whatever those little batteries are. It's the tried and true. You potheads know.
So it's gone.
I flushed the whole goddamn thing down the toilet. The whole thing. Battery and cart.
And so now it's in the pipe.
It's in the pipe.
Okay.
It's in the house.
All right. So, because you live in a townhouse, so do you think it's still in there, or does it make its way out? I don't know how pipes
We
work.
need a plumber. We've been looking for a plumbing sponsor. I need a plumber to tell me.
I've got one of those things, the
snake?
the snake that you
You're gonna snake out the vape?
You reel it down in
the vape.
I think you just have to cut your losses on this.
Will it won't. It's not going to disintegrate, right? It's glass and metal.
But I feel like it would cause a blockage at some point, and then all the doo-doo paper it's like a beaver dam.
It's gone. I'll tell you the facts I know. Fell in. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you go for it? I don't know.
Your wife said, "Get the plunger ready. No one can poop in that bathroom now." I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
I know she's not going to be happy.
It might have made its way. I mean,
What was the girth of it?
No, it was a pee. Sorry.
No, it's a pin. It's a vape pen.
Yeah, but there are different sizes.
There we go.
Okay.
This is the exact.
I think it's
This
down the
is
pipes,
exactly it.
right?
This is exactly it.
That's fine.
This is tobacco, but this is exactly it. So this is exactly the way it looks. So it's about, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, but because
5 inches tall.
I think aren't the toilets like you're not supposed to flush anything hard down there?
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to, but I think you're fine.
It'll make it to the end, right?
What is it?
Once
The
it
Ninja
gets
Turtle's
out,
going to get high.
No, but what is it? Like, honestly, yeah, the facts are it was going in. People say, why didn't you jump for it? I don't know. Lapse of judgment. I'm just being stupid. It was way down. He did that move, too, that sneaky turds do. You know when you're taking a poop and you feel like it's a mega big poop? I'm not trying to be crass. I'm just trying to teach you guys what I'm thinking. You know when you go to take a big poop and you take a big poop and then you look through your legs down in the bowl and your poop is gone? It's because you pooped the exact, curve of the hole, and your poop went in, and when it came in, it dove in like, no, it's not like really a ghost poop. A ghost poop is when you go to wipe and there's nothing there. That's a ghost poop.
Concrete Mike is calling us online too. I'm not sure. Maybe he has flushed something down the toilet.
Right. Hey, Mike, have you ever flushed your vape cartridge, or an entire vape down your toilet?
No, I have not, but I've gotten out of a job site before, and it fell off my. I didn't realize it because it landed on rocks and stuff, but I didn't hear it, and then my pump truck ran it over and smashed it into the ground.
All right. The old pump truck.
That thing is gone. Don't worry about no blockage. That 4-inch line coming off your toilet, that drains right into your main sanitary line, and that's going to go right on down, and it's down the pipes. It's gone.
Hold on.
You'll never see it again.
Well, where does it go, though? That's what me and Tom were trying to figure out.
I went to the old Toot Pin graveyard.
I've had plenty of plumbers come to my house and then have an awkward conversation with me about my wife.
That's different. Those expand and block the pipes.
Is that
That's
what
why.
It is?
Well, your house is old. You probably got cast iron in-ground lines, too, which, as they start rusting, they create an issue for blockage with anything that can catch it and snag it. Therefore, sanitary napkins and such items like that that women use.
Can we not call them sanitary napkins? They're fucking teapons, man.
That's what they call them. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
You too.
Don't say napkin.
You too. I mean, it's not sanitary after you've stuck it up your twat. You got blood all over it.
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying it should be called an extremely unsanitary napkin. It's horrible.
It is unsanitary.
Yeah, it's not sanitary. Why are you calling it that? Call it a teapot. That's what I call it. And Maisie, Andrea talks about it with Maisie.
No, don't talk about it.
I live in a teapot house. Why do you think I'm hiding and smoking weed with my puppy in the bathroom? I'm sorry. I didn't get that off my chest. I feel better now.
So, Sam, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm going out to Disney Springs.
Yeah, she's doing the old the Sammy. She's doing the Sammy with Travi, having Sammys.
Is it easy to find a restaurant? I feel the restaurant employees that work on Thanksgiving, like the stereotypical time you'd eat Thanksgiving dinner.
I asked them that last year.
Do they like it?
Yes, because they make more money.
Yeah, they get time and a half.
The people that I asked.
Some get time and a half.
I asked a bartender and a waitress, and they were saying they make more money.
And
tips.
Andrea used
too.
to not work Thanksgiving, but any holiday leading up to the holiday, when she was doing retail, she'd work it. because she'd get a lot more money.
I guess it also depends, too, right? Some people hate their families, and they're like, I'd rather just go make money than be forced. They can use that as an excuse to not go have to sit down with their family.
Out of all the holidays, I feel like unless someone has some sort of tradition they do, no one really gets excited about Thanksgiving, right? No one cares about the dinner. No one's like, ooh, turkey. Do they?
Yeah.
Who gets excited about turkey?
But I do think it's dying. I think you said it best when we first started the show, and you were talking about how influencers and social media, how that whole kind of ball of wax has taken traditions that we normally have and accelerated kind of the stamping out of them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is one of the first Thanksgivings that I've kind of looked around, and granted, I am doing something unconventional by going to the Solar Bears game, and you can join me. But like, it's one of the first ones that I've looked at it, and I'm not getting, like, you would think back in the day that you would kind of get judged for doing that. Like, what are you going to a hockey game for Thanksgiving? What the hell are you doing? Not at all. Everybody's like, oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's got like this cool vibe. And it's one of the first I can remember that was like that. And we started to change it up, man. Like, after my mom and dad died, we started to, like, we're do tacos, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, like the stereotypical Thanksgiving dinner. I know we say this every year, but it's, I don't know anybody that really is super excited about the actual dinner part of it, because it's not like it's some sort of weird thing you never experience throughout the year. You know, like turkey, mashed potatoes, and like maybe no one ever eats cranberry sauce, but it's not even that good.
Oh, I like the canned cranberry sauce.
I like canned.
You gotta have the can.
Yeah, it's fine.
Give me the grooves.
But it's not.
I love the grooves.
But it's not some sort of specialty that.
It's the only time I ever eat it.
I guess it is, but it's like not. It's not like some delicacy that is hard to find.
Yeah, no,
it's kind of like unspecial. Everything is unspecial about it, really.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I never eat like stuffing, corn casserole, cranberry. I only eat it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I guess if you did not eat all that stuff throughout the year, but it's like everything.
It depends on what type of person. There are two type of people when you become mature. There are two type of people. There are the people that, like me, immature, where you finally get a job and you start earning money and you go, I can eat McDonald's anytime I want. That's me. Or you have other people that are like you, are adult, and you're like, Thanksgiving meals are I preserve them for Thanksgiving, or reserve rather. That is my Thanksgiving meal. That is when I have it, and I have it then. You don't do what I do, where I literally, there are some nights I'll tell Andrew, I'll be like, I want like a whole Thanksgiving dinner, and we'll go get it and eat it in my house whenever the fuck I want to.
Well, it's like Boston Market is basically Thanksgiving dinner, right? It's like a lot of fast food or pseudo.
A lot of like Morrison's Cafe. A lot of those. You'd get carved turkey stuffing. Great. It became like you could get it whenever. And to me, that's when, like me growing up as my own adult, I was like, fuck this. I can have this whenever I want it. And that's what fucked it out for me.
Because like the original Thanksgiving, it's like in no other a time would you ever eat some giant feast, because it would be considered a way. You were always dying, right? Like you had to preserve your food in cans and in jars, and like to make sure you lasted through the winter. So it was an anomaly to eat that much at one time. So everybody was super excited about it, and now it's just like we eat that much all the time. Everybody's eating 2,800 calories a dinner.
Well, not everybody.
Well, I was saying, it's just it's not.
Speaking of not eating that much, Seth is here. Seth.
What do you have for Thanksgiving? Extra birdseed?
No, Tracy's making a nice big turkey stuffed with lemons and citrus and good stuff like that.
Stuffed with lemons.
She made it last time. It was the best turkey I've ever had. It was so good. It was amazing. And I'm making a steak. What is it?
Sirloin?
A big,
prime rib?
Prime rib.
You don't even know what you're making.
I ordered it. I've got to go pick it up at Whole Foods after this.
See, but Seth, though, is different, because I could see him getting excited to eat a gigantic...
Yeah, what are your sides?
Because he doesn't eat that way all the time.
You go crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, for Thanksgiving, I can't go that crazy anymore, because I feel horrible, like sick.
Right.
Like physically
sick. You don't do the, like, eat yourself to...
Unfortunately, I can't.
You used to eat yourself and then send me pictures. You're like, I'm about to go puke, man.
That's old. That's old age.
Can't do that anymore.
My pop-up. Remember the time he got the pub burger at Outback or whatever.
With the knife in it.
Yeah, he thought he was going to eat like his grandson, and then he's like, he can't eat that, but you got to stick to tuna salad.
I need to go to the bathroom now.
But the sides are the best part, because it's like sweet potato stuff that I usually.
I love like sweet potato
casserole with like the cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, you put all the sugar on top of it. Yeah,
any sort of pasta that her family.
And the rolls, what is it? You get like.
Well, I did get
Mary
some
Butters.
Rolls. I did get the gluten-free rolls for myself.
No, you get the Parker House full mega gluten.
You can eat gluten.
All the gluten.
I'll eat everything except for the bread. The bread I'll just stick to my normal.
How do you make a sandwich afterwards?
No, you can make it.
You don't smoke weed and you run down there and you pull turkey off of the turkey and you put it in a roll and then you smear the cranberry and you start dunking it in a gravy.
That sounds
it's good as fuck.
I could do that with a gluten-free roll.
Yeah, you could. There's some gluten-free pizza that I've had recently that's actually pretty damn good. They're getting better with... I still don't understand what fucking gluten is.
No, it's fine.
It's just the protein in wheat. That's it. That's all it is.
Protein, that's good.
But no, it's not bad for... I'll eat just straight gluten. It's the wheat and all the stuff that comes with it.
Oh, you're boring Tommy's mad now.
So,
sorry.
all right, no, let's take a break. When we come back...
I just got here.
I don't know. I planned for you to come here right at the break.
Sorry, it wasn't my fault. It is my fault.
You're good.
What do you...
I almost had a fire at the gym.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God!
We'll talk about it when we get back.
Oh my! Breaking news!
They closed Colonial.
Breaking news! Colonial Jungle
Well, hold
on
on. You
fire.
told us yesterday you were going to be like, I call tomfoolery.
Hold on. He started the fire. He was the planned arson.
Oh, okay.
He was planned
I had
arson.
to get insurance policy.
All right. The name of the band is Millie, or the artist rather. The name of the song is Illuminate. This reminds me of this is straight up super 90s. Like grunge. This person obviously likes Smashing Pumpkins. So enjoy. We'll be right back.
BartTheRealtor.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, it's the Bart Merrick team. Bart Merrick, Crystal Van. And on the line with us right now
is the man.
Is the Bart Merrick. How you doing, Bart?
What's going on, guys? Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
I like we say that like the Ohio State. The Bart Merrick. I like that.
So, Bart, what's going on with the housing market right now?
It's definitely changing. It's changed again. It's been. I got to tell you, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've never seen it change as often and as quickly as it has in the last year. You know, where we started at the beginning of the year and where we were in the middle and where we are now are three completely different things. What we're seeing now is that prices of homes have started to come down. And for buyers, it's actually been something we haven't seen for about, 2.5 years, maybe 3, where buyers are starting to get a little bit of the upper hand going into negotiation. Whereas a year ago, if you wanted to go buy a $400,000 house, you would need to put up $50,000 more than what they were asking in order to get it. Whereas today, maybe you can come in and negotiate that $400,000 home down to like $370,000 or $360,000, which is substantial.
Yeah.
So prices have come down, albeit interest rates have gone up. I will say that the difference in pricing is probably starting to make up some of that difference more recently, where, the rates have gone up, but prices have come down to such a degree where it's not as big as a bump as it was maybe a month or two ago.
Gotcha.
So now buyers actually have some negotiation power and could possibly get property under asking price, which haven't been seen in a while, right?
Correct. Every morning I look at the market stats and I see price decreases have jumped across the board. And, and for sellers too, I know no one wants to hear this, but this is the truth, is that as interest rates have gone up, prices are coming down on homes. And it's a conversation that we've had to have with some of our sellers where the market has just changed so quickly, so fast that we have to recognize that. And it's not going to be anything like it was back in 2010. But at the same time, there's a relationship there. So, and that relationship is starting to level off.
And that's the advantage you get when you use Bart Merrick or Crystal Van. Yeah. They know what the current market is doing.
They're staying on top of it. You heard Bart. He reads it every morning.
This is different than it was 8 months ago. It's like, so it changes that quickly so that you need an
it'll change again.
Yeah, you need an experienced realtor team. Also, if you're looking for any house outside of Central Florida, Bart and Crystal have relationships with other realtors that, they can refer you to. So, I see people sometimes like...
Some of them are BDMs. It's funny.
No, I know.
We have actual BDMs that just work in other areas that would be more than happy to help you out.
So even if you are looking outside of Central Florida, even outside of the state, talk to Bart Merrick first and see if they can help you out, refer you to a qualified representative that has your best interest in mind. Bart, thanks so much for, of course, always sponsoring the show, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Happy
Enjoy.
Thanksgiving, man. Take care. See ya.
It's BartTheRealtor.com.
Like super, like that whole set was like super 90s. That could have been The Farm. That could have been Blur. That could have been Oasis.
90s are back.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Seth Petruzzelli is here. We are easing you into Thanksgiving right now.
I'll mention I'll be at Toll Road Brewing in Ocoee on December 2nd at 7 p.m. If you want to come have a beer with me, I'll just be hanging out at Toll Road. So if you live around Ocoee and want to have a beer, I'll tell you some stories.
How about the swing meter?
By.
How about the swing and Peter meter?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you your swing meter. Although you need to come by with your partner so I can truly gauge it. Just the guy alone.
That's not creepy.
I'd like to come meet you.
What if it's just a girl?
That's what then we're having an awkward conversation. Anyway.
Does your wife know you're doing this? Like,
no, she knows. So Seth,
yes.
Breaking news: your gym is burning down.
Well, this started last night. It was 10. When I got
is it
back
the
from
dojo,
my dojo
or the jungle?
No, the jungle.
Okay.
The jungle. So it was when I got the text from Mr. Tang. It was
Who's Mr. Tang?
Mr. Tang's my landlord at the jungle.
Okay.
Read it as Mr. Tang.
No, come on.
Read it as
Mr. Every time I read it, when I read it to Tracy last night, it was full on Tang.
Never go full Tang.
I went full Tang.
No, not on this show. Stop Asian hate.
So anyway, he's your landlord.
He texted me last night.
Did they ever rent that place above you?
The Pleasure Castle.
It's been rented for
What's
a while.
Up there
it's
now?
The damn nail salon, which is their fault that this happened.
Are there hookers up there or anything? Is there human trafficking?
So there's a nail salon above
the jungle.
The jungle.
Oh, I love the smell of nail salons.
Well, no, it started at first. We started smelling that, and we're like, "This is not happening. We got to fix this. And we don't want that smell down there." They did something, and it doesn't smell anymore.
Hold on,
I got to burn the fumes.
I got to tell a true story about before we got this studio.
I didn't go with you.
You didn't go?
No, I was looking at. I was doing something else, and you're like, I got a hot tip, and he's like, well, we're gonna go look at it.
So when we realized we needed to move out of Daniel's house and move into a proper commercial
property, because my mom was walking around with no bra on, and her long titties were swaying underneath her Sarasota nightshirt.
And so we were looking around,
little fuzzies all over it. You can still see her nipples.
And of course, because I want the deal, I went to all our friends that own commercial buildings. Like I toured Kramer's commercial building.
We toured the Danger Brains original. They had a big ass. Everybody, when you're doing business, you just feel it out, and some things work and some things don't. But the Danger Brains had, that compound. If we could, that would have been sweet.
And then
Seth, a compound with a garage.
Seth gave me a tour of above the jungle. He's like, "Hey, you can build your podcast studio up here. I'll give you the tour."
I like boogers up here.
So, I remember I met Seth and we went through some spooky stairwell.
I used to go bang my girlfriend.
Tom said that.
On the roof.
I was gonna
on the roof. It was, you can sunbathe. It was a beautiful view of downtown Orlando, the sunset.
So you go all the way up there and you bang your girlfriend. Current girlfriend?
No, this was, at the time.
Have you never taken Tracy up there and banged her on the roof?
Not the jungle. No.
Oh, she's the one. She's the one. You see?
And it was.
He respects Tracy.
I respect her.
It was a labyrinth of like
tapestry of nightmares.
It was like drop ceiling conference rooms. It was gigantic.
You said there were phones.
Oh, it's big. It's like close to 5,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
I was like, this is too much.
No, that's what we need.
You're like, you could talk to Tang.
This
and
guy's
you can get a deal. Back then.
This guy's always aiming for like, I don't know what he must have shoot for the fucking stars.
What I'll do is I'll get it from my dojo and give you guys like 1,000 square feet in this corner and do your podcast and a dojo at the same time.
and a stripper pole and a shower.
There's two showers in there already.
There's 2 showers?
Yeah.
All we got to do is put a couple pieces, have your dad put a couple pieces of plexiglass up, and then we got to have girls shower in there and live stream it.
So I digress. What happened with the fire?
So he texted me last night. I'm eating my dinner last night, home trying to relax. And first of all, he wrote, "Hi, John." He still doesn't know. I
fucking love Tang. Can we get a Mr. Tang shirt?
After 15 plus years, 17 plus years of being with him, he still doesn't know. He calls me Little Monkey. My name's Little Monkey. My name's Big Monkey, and then my partner's name's Little Monkey because I'm bigger than him. So he's like, "You Big Monkey, you Little Monkey."
I told you not to
big dumb
monkey.
So he said,
"You John Monkey man."
Happy Thanksgiving, monkey!
So he said, 1419 East Colonial Monkey. I'm trying not to do it. Monkey Gym, power, have lots, smoke,
Monkey Gym. He calls it the Monkey Gym.
Yes, he calls it the
Big
Monkey Gym.
gorilla.
Racist.
What is the side? All the branding.
Mr. Tang is like Mr. Furley on Three's Company. He's the new character. I love Mr. Tang.
No, he's actually a great guy. He's funny
he
as
seems
hell.
awesome.
No, he's funny as hell. Like, he jokes.
So he's giving you a heads up. Some shit's going down.
Well, he said there's smoke coming out of the Monkey Gym?
Coming out. Fire department call. Close Colonial. Firemen check upstairs, downstairs. He says something caused by air conditioning. Fire suggests...
He texts better than you do, by the way. Like, this motherfucker Tang,
I feel like I need to read it in my... How you talk?
No.
I was about to say, it's like you texting yourself.
Fire suggests...
Oh, my God.
Fire on street.
Oh, my God. This is like Fight Club.
Anyway.
It's like you were Tang the whole time.
Anyway,
what if you were Tang?
He went on forever and lots of texts going back and forth. Basically, what happened was my manager that was in there late last night smelt it. He saw...
Well, then he dealt it. That's the rule. That's Florida law. He
said it wasn't thick smoke, but it looked like people are smoking in a room, that haze that you get,
purple
or like
haze.
a fog machine.
Yeah.
So he said
fog machine. Don't put me into this shit. That shit's in my garage, locked up.
So he said he saw that in there, and everyone smelt it. So he told all the members to get it. He's like, everyone to get out of the building. He kicked everyone out of the jump.
He
evacuated
He's
the
a
jump.
hero.
Well,
Can we bring him in here and give him a...
Alex is a good guy.
Grab the ropes. Those are expensive.
Yeah.
Grab the swing.
Yeah, grab the whippy ropes and the leather balls. The heavy leather balls.
The mats are the most expensive thing.
Really?
Grab the mats. Grab the mats.
Grab the mats. Always remember that. Grab the mats.
Grab the mats. Everything else.
So, what was it?
So the firemen came. They literally closed Colonial off in case the building collapsed. Because it's such an old building.
You want our studio on the top floor of that?
This thing might come down.
My God, it's like a Miami apartment.
So I can't show the viewers, but I got sent this video of what it was, and there's a little electrical room on the side of the building. And it keeps all the AC handlers, the breakers, everything. And there's like giant Frankenstein-looking switches you switch it
like big underwear.
Big fucking electric.
Seth P on the back of them.
And it's pouring down water into this electrical stuff. I don't know if you could see the water pouring.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Just
oh my God.
Just water.
Why
falling.
are you barefoot, dude?
That's Alec. That's my manager.
Put some fucking shoes
he
on.
even says he's like, this isn't safe right now. And the fireman's like, yeah, you might want it. And he steps right.
I would have put some shoes on there, Snake Eyes.
Everyone that works there's a fucking.
Hey, Hong Kong Phooey, put some fucking shoes on. You're about to blow your toes off.
So the fireman's like, just shut all the electric off. You should be good. And we're like, okay.
Oh, no power for the rest of the year. Yeah.
So,
you're like the Ukrainians now. It's a tough winter.
Where was the water coming from?
There's a water heater on top of the AC.
Yeah. How do we heat our nails?
Which is right next to the Frankenstein electrical switches that are just all combined. So the water is leaking from the water heater.
This makes me feel better about our business.
Yeah.
Fucking shorting out of and Tang was like, he's like, you guys.
You could do it one time.
Oh, come on.
One time.
And I was like, Monkey, it's on you. You pay for this now. And we're like, no, Mr. Tang. We're like, no, Mr. Tang. Like, look, we followed the pipe.
No, I'm with him, Monkey. This is on you.
No, we followed the pipe of where it went, and it came from upstairs in the goddamn nail salon. So it was their water heater.
What did Tang say to that?
One. He's like, you're right. We deal with that.
Right. You're right.
He's like, I'll deal with the nail salon.
We get you someday, little monkey.
So
well, he's the landlord. If the water heater fucked up, that's on him,
it's
right?
On, I
don't know.
It depends on our lease.
Obviously, you don't know what it's like to be a landlord. You'll never be a landlord.
No, but I know what it's like to be under a slumlord.
I know, but you have to understand that if you are a landlord, you always look at the tenant and go, "This is on you, little." You always say that.
He does it all the time.
Unless they're black, and you never say that.
Yeah. Like obviously, you did not do the right service on this thing, or you didn't have the.
And that mostly that's what it comes down to is him saying that it's on us, and we don't want to argue with him because he's been a good landlord. Besides that,
that's
we
like
don't want to rock the boat because we've been there so long.
Pick your battle. Same thing here. We have a good landlord. He's a good dude. He's like, he's not mean to us. He enjoys what we do. He knows that we pay on time.
Right, because that's prime real estate.
Dude,
you can turn that into.
I know. That's the only thing I try to get him. I try to get him to sell it to me all the time, but he says, "No, I give to my son. I give to my son."
Oh, I love that.
So I was like, and then I go to his son.
I'd love
and
to
I'm
talk
like,
to him, man.
You know what? You go to with your old man.
That would be fucking interesting, though, to talk to him and
I try to poke him. He's a little
when did you get this building? How did you get this? Where did you come from? China? Did you?
No, he did.
Yeah, but I want to know the story. That's fucking interesting. Like, how did you acquire this wealth? How long did you live in Orlando? Did you bring money with you when you came over? Was it like, dude, did you have to work it? Like, that's fucking. That is the fucking American dream.
The American dream. I know.
That's it.
If he can do it, anybody can do it.
Absolutely. Well, that's from Tang.
Yeah. But I bet you Tang worked his dick off, his Tang dick off, like to be able to get that building. Like, and it was
that building is so coveted right now. Like, as far as like real estate goes, I mean, unbelievable location. But if you location.
If you got it in the late '80s, it was nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I bet he's had it longer than that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Everything's fine now. We got it. He came. We got electricians coming and handle it and stuff like that. So everything's fine. Should be okay.
Man, older buildings though. I had that in my old house.
Yeah.
It just started.
If I owned that place, that place would be look amazing. I would gut it and have my dad work on. I would do it.
I mean, are the bones pretty good there?
Oh, the bones. It's a solid building.
It just needs upgrades.
It just needs TLC, and we don't want to put the money into something
not your building.
It's not our building.
Yep.
But we keep our space looking nice, obviously. But like the foundation, I don't know.
Right. You never know.
Like, my water heater is in my garage, and I'll look at it every once in a while, and then it sits on essentially a plate that looks like it's for in case water spills out, that it'll like collect.
Like you put it under your Christmas tree.
A dish. It sits in a dish, right? But then I look at the 6-foot-tall, gigantic cylinder water heater filled with water, and then I'm like, well, that dish isn't going to do anything if this thing starts letting out the water.
But there should be a PVC connected to that where it drains. It doesn't just sit in that pan. There should be a
but the drain. I kick that, it breaks. I never fix it. So it's that's what happens. Then that's
what happened to Mark Curry. Man, remember his comedian and actor Mark Curry that everybody knew from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
We have 2 massive dogs above us now.
I saw. Is that new? Because I walked in.
Yeah. They're
nuts on
the
me.
lady's awesome, but the dogs are sweet too. But they protect their mom.
They recognize bad energy.
Yeah, maybe they do. Mark Cooper, but
I did read my car at him as I pulled up.
He got almost killed in a horrible hot water heater explosion in his you can look it up,
basement.
Sam. Yeah, like that's no bullshit. I made jokes before about Hanging with Mr. Cooper or Mark Curry, and I'm pretty sure he had a horrible. I didn't make jokes about
An
this.
aerosol can fell behind a water heater and exploded.
Yep.
He was doing laundry at the time and burned more than 20% of his body.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It fucked him up.
Like
good.
the water heater exploded and blew off water. Whoa, that must be a rough. Imagine sitting there.
Which is rougher, that or Jay Leno burning his face off with gasoline?
I want to see the picture of that.
The water heater.
I made a meme.
I saw Jay Leno. He was fine.
I made a meme.
Afterwards, you did?
Yeah,
where'd you see him at the Castleberry 7-Eleven?
They showed a picture. They showed a picture of him on the news next to the nurses, and then he was giving
was like an old photo.
Really?
His face looked melted anyway. I guess.
Yeah, I made a meme where I went and I Googled, facial shot of Freddy Krueger. And I wrote Jay Leno underneath it, and I was going to send it to Tom, and I deleted it. So I feel like I feel like I'm a hero now that I didn't do that.
He does not look good, dude. What are you talking about?
I mean,
is it bad?
He doesn't look good.
I don't want to see it.
I mean, a trick by the internet.
It was a tiny thumbnail, and he was standing in his old denim, and he was giving a thumbs up.
Yeah,
I saw it.
And then I tried to zoom in his face, and I was like, his face didn't look that bad.
His thumb was melted like a candle wick.
That's got to be terrible. Which would you rather have, the water? Or would you rather have the gasoline?
I'd rather have the gas. I've been burned by gasoline.
Yeah, you have.
On my face.
Yeah, that's why I was going to bring this up.
The hot water, I feel like will burn you, more.
His left hand
just dry up.
Rotted.
Oh, Jay Leno's? You looked at his left hand? Who got that photo?
They zoomed in on it.
Oh, don't ever zoom
The Boston Herald guy.
Oh, God. Is it black? Is it falling off?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I've been set on fire before, and it's a young man's game.
We'll be right back.
Well, when I burned my hand and my face off.
Healing is a young man's game.
Well, no, it's just you need to flail around fast enough to put yourself out in a panic, and I feel like Jay Leno's too old to flail around that fast.
Well, he was stuck under a car, right?
Oh my God, that's a very interesting
observation.
You don't think because you need to be like, like you
need quick reflexes to put out a fire. That's actually that's a decent observation.
Because in my 20s, when my hand was on fire, my head was on fire, my hair, I was able to run and flail fast enough where it didn't cook me as good.
Also, you're dying, so you may not even know. Like, you ever see those wedding videos on any of those video shows where there's some old lady, her hair's on fire, and it's just a good 5 seconds before she. What's happening?
Reflexes are so slow.
It's literally going out. Like, if you were young, you'd be like, my hair, and you'd be like, boom, into the lake.
Yeah. All right, let's do some good bad with Seth.
Oh man, are you sure you want to do that?
I forgot to ask you before the break. I wanted to say if I was allowed to mention something. I don't know if I'll do another bad story because I'll save this other one for another time.
Something bad. Are we gonna have to do it too hot for TV like Jerry Springer?
I don't know if it's one of your I don't think it's one of your sponsors, but I think it's one of 1041's sponsors.
Is it one of ours? Meaning, does Tom deal with it? Because if Tom doesn't deal with it, I don't give a fuck.
Just say what they do. Give me a vague clue.
Yeah,
heating and cooling in your house.
I mean,
an American flag.
No.
Okay.
Well, that's us.
Yeah, that's us.
But you don't need to say the name, do you?
No, I guess I don't. But I mean, it kind of goes with the story of what I say to the person.
Were you racist?
Well, no, I just told them who the hell I was because I was like, "I'll bury you."
I'll bury you. That's a death threat.
Well,
all right,
all right, just tell us. I need to know.
Hold on, I got to do the song because that's the part people like.
The only reason I want to do this is for the goddamn song that I was stuck in my head yesterday. All right.
Hi, me Seth. We're gonna tell you a couple stories, okay? You're gonna be impressed. Me tell you 2 stories, one good, one bad. Me tell you a good one, me promise you'll laugh. Wait, why me see chat room saying good ones seem kind of bad? Huh. One story good, one story bad. One story feel happy, one story me sad. One story, me big hero. The next, me douchebag. One story, me good. Me really good. Me telling you this story good. One story, me bad.
It's one of the first times we've ever turned the mics off and had a quick discussion.
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to say the sponsor is just called Mo. I'll say that for dump them out. All right. There we go. It's sponsored by no one.
We've never said that either. It's a day of firsts.
So, should we start with a good, I guess?
The good will be fast.
No, you normally go with a... Okay, yeah,
I do bad, and then I usually make you feel happy.
Okay.
All right, start with the bad then.
Okay. All right, so this was about a week and a half ago, I guess. Not too long ago, but a week and a half ago. Got home from my house, and it was extremely, extremely hot in my room. It was right after the hurricanes, and everything was going on in my house, still flooding. It flooded a second time with that second hurricane, So I'm in a really, really piss poor mood, I guess you can say. I wasn't happy at all. And then air was out. Called this company to come on out because they installed my AC to begin with, which was great. It was fast.
Yeah.
It worked. Okay. Everything was super with
and
it.
I'm one
brand new.
I'm surprised you didn't call me because Seth...
He never uses our sponsor.
Well, Seth usually texts me and asks if I have a hookup.
Yeah, I don't know if you're like me, but...
Because every hookup you gave me...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I stopped giving it to you.
Every gift he's given me is not worth it.
No, you guys are doing it wrong. You're fine with me.
And now you guys wonder why I don't use any of his crap.
Are you going through the right process?
I did exactly what you told me.
Exactly. You have to.
And the old lady's like, well, you got to buck through me.
Yeah.
When you go,
awful.
Right to the moon.
When you show up, and then you have to overlook some things, and then it's always the behind.
But if you're like me, I use I know it might be wrong. I'm never looking for a hookup ever. I don't want to get overcharged.
Yeah,
and I want to save money. But if I'll use our sponsor, American Air and Heat, which is who we're not talking about.
No, definitely not.
But if I use them, then if they put it in, I'm going to go back to them for the next time. If I have a problem, I'm going back to them, right? Same thing I would do with any product that I have. If I'm using Secured, if I'm whatever, I go back to them. I never, and it drives me crazy because I believe that you are the type of person where Tom is the type of person where he could wear I equate it to wearing Reebok socks with Nike shoes. It drives me nuts. I know it's okay. I know it's fine. fine. No, you're not wrong for doing it. No, you're not a bad person. But why the fuck are you doing it? Yeah. Why would you do that? So that's what I equated. If they put it in, you call them.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And it was only a year and 3 months ago when they put it in, and it broke. So I was like, no, this is not right. A brand new AC unit should not go bad in a year and 3 months. No way.
All right.
No way. So
if you never clean the line, or,
I don't know.
Call Tang. I cleaned the line.
Call Tang.
But
did you put the vinegar?
I was doing bleach.
You got to put the vinegar.
I did some bleach, not vinegar.
No.
He saw the bleach.
Bleach is too strong, man.
Yeah, I know. But it was a big clog, and I just was like,
no.
Oh, why was there a clog?
Because it's humid and it's just moldy out there.
It's like someone's putting the AC down the toilet. If you're pumping the AC in the toilet. So it's broke, and you call them.
It's broke. I call them. They come out. So he looks at it.
By the way, a year and a half is a long period of time. It's not like 2 weeks.
No.
I just got this car 7 years ago, and it's broken already.
But like, no,
7 years and a year and 3 months.
Yeah, like
come on.
I would do the same thing with a car. Like a year and 3 months.
It's even under warranty. It's under warranty right now.
What's it got? 30 years?
Still
10
under
years?
warranty. It's like 10 years, 5 to 7, I think it was, or something like that.
Oh, you got to go through the warranty process.
No,
it never worked.
Did you mail in the thing?
It wasn't even that. He told me what the problem was. He said, all right. He's like, no big deal. He's like, what we can do is, this is under warranty. We take it out. We put a temporary one in so that way you're not without air. Right?
Okay.
Normal. That's
this is
great.
Sounding great.
He's like, it'll take about a week to get the new one in, and we'll come in and install that. He's like, it'll be about $780. I'm like, I fucking flipped. One of my flip switchers.
Well, hold on a second. It's not like, okay, I was expecting a number that's like, what the fuck? Like,
$780.
Hold on, I understand that's a lot of money, but it's not like, it's not Smash Your Phone.
That's 7.5 shows I got to do.
Am I wrong or am I changing?
I got to be here for over 2 months.
I think I'm changing.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I think I'm changing. I think I'm like not. I think I'm not as crazy anymore or something. Because
there was a amount that it wasn't. It was less than I thought.
What was the actual?
I just got done paying to get my boat more. I got more hookup on my boat. I put goddamn club speakers on my boat for $3,000. So
you didn't need to do that.
Right.
I know I didn't need to do that, but what I'm saying is I've just got done spending a lot of money on different things.
That's not their fault.
Yeah, that's not
I know,
but that's why I'm surprised you are upset about the cost.
Right,
because you've just got done spending an insane amount of money.
Okay, Tom understands my love language because if you're willing to spend $3,000 on club speakers for a boat that you're going to use like maybe 3 times a month, $700 to get ice cold air.
You just bought it and you're mad.
That should have worked already. The AC should have worked already. I don't get to like hold my AC and take it places and be like, look how badass
I
this AC is.
I understand, but problems happen.
You get to sit inside in cool air.
Yeah, but everybody
and use it every single day.
Exactly. I could come here and do that.
Even poor people have that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
So I really did go off the fucking deep end because I was already stressed out already from.
So I'm going to take my frustrations out on other people.
On you, me beating Chad, me spitting, me pulling hair, me pooping pants.
I picked up whatever I found next to him. It was in my tool shed area, so I had 2x4s. I picked them up. I go, fuck! I throw them on the ground.
In front of the man?
Right in front of the man.
Oh, you can't do that. This is what children do at the mall.
I start kicking them around. I walk around the house.
This is Maisie and Claire's because I bought her friend a birthday gift and she didn't get something.
But the whole time I was doing it,
I was screaming fuck and throwing 2x4s around.
This guy's probably scared shitless.
He was scared, and I felt
bad. Was
bad.
he an old man? Because a lot of them are old men.
No, he was about 45.
Oh, I'm an old man.
So
he's your age.
That's why I said no, he's not old.
But
the entire time I was screaming logic at him. I was like, how the fuck can
logic?
This be under warranty?
Sorry, I just envisioned logic.
The guy's like, I don't know what to do.
You're throwing 2x4s.
I'm just doing my job, sir.
And I told him that. I'm like, I fucking know it's not your fault, and I don't mean to take it out on you, but goddamn, your fucking business is bullshit. You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you.
Is this what I sound like when I do this on the phone? You've heard me a couple times.
I said 100 times to call your fucking supervisor. I'm like, call your boss. Call your fucking boss.
He's
call
not
your
a cop.
And I called the office myself, and I screamed. The lady on the phone.
Me want to talk to his supervisor.
She's like,
please.
he's at lunch, and then I was nice at first, and because I just got done screaming at him, she goes, he's at lunch. I'm like, You work for the fucking company. You don't have a cell phone to get a hold of him for an emergency for a goddamn customer that's loyal and that does this.
Oh, that's loyal.
I am. It's the second time I installed the AC.
This is the second time I yelled at you.
And then
Where's your loyalty?
I'm loyal and screaming at
Every
you.
week you call me a Mytho 2x4.
So in the middle, in the midst of me yelling
that are just doing their job.
and then I pull the "Do you know who I am?" card, and do you know I'm on
Tuttle used to do that.
And do you know I'm on the radio? And
I'm on the radio. That doesn't even mean anything.
I know.
Tom doesn't even do that.
I said,
"Oh my God, you've embarrassed Tom."
I said,
means less than it did.
I said, people know who you are, and I will go on there, and I will tell how
you
bad.
You can't weaponize us, man.
Oh, I did. And then
what's just a threat?
And then
because when you actually do it and nothing happens, they're like, well,
I don't hear him on the radio. I haven't heard him in months on the radio.
If nothing was done, I would say the name right now, but something was done. So
it was the 2x4.
Well, we beep out the name. I don't want to get fucking sued because then their story is like
crazy man.
He didn't have the warranty to pay for this.
He intimidated our technician.
There was a giant clog. He didn't put the goddamn vinegar in.
He put bleach in.
He put bleach in and he pumped it down the toilet.
Because at the end of everything, I was like, do you see this happen a lot? Do you think it's normal for a part to go bad in a year and a half?
God, he's giving you the stuff. Let him go.
And he goes, honestly, he's like, we've seen a lot of these things go badly. I'm like, oh, well, then it's fucking the part. Then stop buying
You know what? You're right. You know what? You've changed my ways, Seth, and you're my new best friend.
Well, he did come to me afterwards. He's like, look, like, I know you're not mad at me, but you're just mad at the situation, so it's okay.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not mad at you, but fuck this and fuck. No, I still went.
Oh, my God. You got to let it go.
I went off.
And then what did they do?
So
they took a shit.
50% off.
I'll tell you what I would have done. I would take a shit in my tool bag, and while I was calming the situation down, I would stuff it in the drop ceiling of his garage, and I would drive away.
So the first time he came back, he said he spoke with somebody on the phone. He's like, "I'm sorry, we can't do anything." I went in another tangent. I walked around the house. I started fucking saying, "How the fuck?" I just started screaming a whole bunch of shit.
You just start. Your move
is Tracy here?
Yeah.
Is she hiding?
So your move is you let them stand outside, and then you just pace.
I was pacing. Oh, he was just standing.
So you pace
standing there with his little calculator.
When do you come back? When do you come back to re-engage after losing?
After I call them, and after I call another AC company just to have them say, well, it's just $100 to come out. I go, fuck, and I just hang up my hand.
Oh, but you yell at them now.
I yell at them. So then about 10 minutes go by of him going in, back and forth with his truck, going on the phone back and forth. And then he came to me once. He's like, "What's your name again?" He's like, "What show you on?"
No, they don't. Okay.
I think Dan, a really old man on the line. He's like, "So what? So what's he say? What's his name? And what show is he on?"
It's Pepper's Alley from some skeleton time.
Pepper's Alley from the skeleton time.
Yeah, but he said it's on the radio. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's on.
Oh my God, is he crazy? Is he on meth?
Isn't karate supposed to teach you like respect and discipline?
And I am 99% of the time. But
he wasn't in karate mode.
I was in fed up mode. And
you tell him a mediocre time. He tells his boss, "I've never heard of it."
Yeah.
What is it? A pod? What? I don't know.
We don't care about
what
that.
channel are they on? Do they know Taco Bob? Now that's a goddamn good broadcaster I can get behind.
So you tell him, you threatened that you were going to try to ruin his reputation.
I did.
And then
they finally came.
You gave him the never work in this town again?
No,
you went full buckethead on him, my God.
He said, he's like, well, I'll tell you what. He's like, he said we can do 15% off. He's like, I know it's not what you want. Oh, no. Yeah. It was about 15%.
This makes us so happy.
Because what they were doing was, listen to what they were doing. Listen. They were charging me to put the temporary one in and take it out and put the new one in. I'm like, why would you charge me to put a temporary one in when I'm already paying
for the new one?
I'm like, how long does it take you to put in? He's like, maybe 20 minutes. I'm like, and you're charging me $400 to put this in and take it out and I don't even get to keep it?
Temporary.
He's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, no. And that's when I was another part of my logic argument. I'm like, how does that make any fucking sense? So he said what they would do is it wasn't 15%. It equated to about 15%, but he wasn't going to charge me to put the temporary one in and take it out. He's like, I'll put this in for free, and when the new one comes, we'll just charge you for that one. I'm like, oh, it's not what I want, but it's better than fucking nothing. So much for having a warranty that doesn't even fucking.
Oh, welcome to Tang. Right? So, yeah, Tom's done this a lot of times.
And that was it. And then I felt, after I cooled down after about 30 minutes, when it comes back in, I'm a little embarrassed because of course I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, you went too far, right?
I went a little too far.
Yeah.
If the owner was there, I wouldn't have gone too far, but he was there, so I felt bad because he was just
I've done this before. When I was a younger Dan, you get caught up in the emotion of it. You can't believe it. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he gave you the old Mississippi switcheroo, and that meaning that you charge a bunch, and then when they get mad and start screaming logic at you, you start taking off those charges that never really were a thing anyway to make them happy to get back to the original price. So then they feel happy about getting screwed. Yeah. That's how they do it. So you yelled at a couple people that had nothing to do with the actual business.
That was the bad story,
it was one of my intent. Like I only rage once every couple of years, and that was a rage moment for me.
Okay, that's like Haley's comment.
Has there ever been a scenario where you did say, Seth Petruzzelli, and then they bowed down and gave you
exactly what you wanted?
Like completely free? Or
give him the emperor's platter.
Because I will tell you,
usually at that point, it's so far gone, and I'm so far pissed off and in a rage where they're like, get this guy out of this club now.
You're like,
there was one time in my entire life that I pulled that move.
I've only done it once.
That and it actually worked, and it was we got pulled over by the cops. I was in the back seat drunk, and
weird.
And then our car was in a disarray. I was with friends from Miami, and then I rolled down the back window, and then I was like, "Hey, I'm drunk at the Bear from the morning show."
But I'm not drunk right now.
I was driving.
Drunk as the Bear, and I'm in the back seat,
and it goddamn worked. And the cop was like, "Hey, drunkie, get that fuck out of here!"
Yeah, I love it.
And my friends, it blew their goddamn mind. It worked one time.
But I've had those times, but didn't have to say my name. He looked at my driver's license. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I know who you are." He's like, "Get out of here."
Man, it must be nice to have white privilege.
Why are you?
White privilege because I'm a fighter.
Why are you pissing at the bar, man?
I was a fighter.
I did one where I used it, and I'm not proud of this, but I'm also, most of the time when I've told this, people are like, yeah, I would have done that. I've never used that. I always took a stance on that. I never liked using any type of influence or any type of like celebrity or whatever you want to call it that people have ever thought that we have. But getting Andrea's, our wedding photos. Remember the...
Oh, yeah.
That lady was like, she went
But
crazy.
that was egregious.
She fucked over
you paid her.
Else.
She did.
But you paid her a lot.
I did.
So that was
and it was like one of these things where the person had an exemplary record until they didn't. It was literally a switch. It was like... best, winning all these awards, best wedding photographer, and I paid my money. And then right about the time she had finished our wedding, it like no communication, nobody writing back, other people hearing from other people that are not getting their photos, but like you're looking on the internet, and this isn't like when the internet was like it is now.
Oh,
like,
it is. It's a MySpace and some chat rooms.
Yeah, but we're like,
what is it?
Yeah, and I told her, and it was really her husband that I said it to because he was like reasonable. And I felt bad for him. I'll be careful what I say because I think she's back in the game and whatever, do your thing. But
she still owes people some fucking photos. I know that.
You do. But that's not my business.
Yeah.
But you told her.
I told her husband, honestly, on the phone. I said, "Look, man, my wife's been leaning on me for like the last couple months, 3 months to get these photos back, and it's like the most important thing that she like of the day. Like it's her memories." And if we don't get these back, I will start talking about this on the morning show I'm on, and it's not going to be good. And I said, I'm not saying this to threaten. I'm just saying that
I don't want to do this. I just want my photos.
Yeah, I don't have any other recourse other than to make this. And I tried to frame it so even if he were recording her, this is how paranoid I fucking am. I tried to frame it in a way to say, like, look,
like a mobster.
You're giving an honest. You're just giving your honest story of what happened to you. If she didn't give your photos back,
right?
I was doing the same thing.
You're not making a story up.
What if you slip and fall outside your house one day?
Don't say that part. Don't say that part. Leave that part out.
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
I had already got short of the long is I had already gotten in trouble, and I've told this story on the show before with writing a letter or writing an email to an ex-girlfriend. I was like, I'll go on the air and I'll talk about you and I'll fucking light you up, and then she gave it to her boss, and her boss called Linda Bird. You remember Remember that?
Yeah.
And then I got called to the office. They're like, "Why are you weaponizing the show? You can't do this with people you're dating. We could get sued." And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just trying to get this bitch back. It's a bad bitch." Yeah, like you would think that you'd support your employee, but she always supported women. And and I guess that's what ladies should do. You got to stick up for the ladies. I get it. But yeah, that's a true story. I got called in there and got into trouble. So anytime, I never, from that point on, I learned from my lessons. If I do something and it's like weird, like I'm not doing that again, I'm not getting in trouble for this again. But I told that guy, I go, hey, if I don't get these photos, I'm going to use this as a topic.
You have your own business now. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Right.
So I did the right thing. So it's not a bad story. It was a good story.
That was your good story?
No, I'm saying I did the right thing. So that's
you did the wrong thing.
Throwing a tantrum as a 40-something-year-old man?
Yeah. I feel like you could have just been like, come on, is there anything you could do? Like, I always wonder if going
I went the polite route at first. I did go a little bit.
Oh, and they said no?
Yeah, and he said no, and that's when I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not paying that much money. Absolutely not. Fix it or I'll fucking screwdriver your neck. I did not say that.
Yeah, no, I know, but I know that's what you're thinking. Of course. You can't do that.
Of course, that's why I did the right things, right?
I've had to walk away from things before and just say, look at Andrea and be like, you gotta handle this.
Well, no one was there besides my dog, and I couldn't have him handle it.
So, what's the good story? I'm curious.
It's gonna be a quickie. If you blink, you'll miss it. It's like driving through a small town.
I'm actually curious to see how you guys deal with it. Like, do you guys ever go to PetSmart or Whole Foods or whatever, and they ask you to donate that little $1 for this or that? Walgreens does it sometimes.
Yeah,
Publix.
Is it always
they ask you to round up
type thing?
I do it all the time.
Oh,
I usually. Well, I've reverted to saying that I've already did this yesterday, and
that's what a man with a failing business does.
And it's like I donated already, and like every once in a while,
that's what Andrea does. It's surprising because it's a lie,
and but it's the easiest way to say, and then they don't bother you because if I say no, I feel like a dickhead. Like no, thank you, I will not donate $1 to children.
You know what would be funny is if somebody did it like Jay Cutler style. You walk in and they're like, and would you like to give $1 to the United Way? And you're like, no!
Or don't care.
Yeah. Don't care.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if everybody does. Everyone always presses no or yes, but I don't even think about it. I'm always pressing yes no matter what.
Because you have, you're...
But only for animals, not any human needs, just animal ones. Like
okay.
That's fine. So, the human ones, I do it.
Wait, that's your good story? That's it? You just press yes? Okay.
I told
you round up 38 cents.
No, it's usually $1.
But he does it every time.
Every single time. No matter what.
I'm trying to help him out. No matter what.
So
and this has been every time since you've been successful.
I could have less than 6 figures on my account and I'll still do it.
You've been successful for, let's say, the last 20 years. For the last 20 years, you have given every when you can give, you give.
Yeah, every time.
I think that's good. That is legitimately good. And we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's good. That is good. I can't take that away from you.
That is something. That's something.
Okay.
And we know you love the puppies.
So, all right.
Okay. I think we're pretty good. This is a hard one.
I just want to hear the song at this point. Just play the song at
we
the
could
end.
just have him come in and play the song and he never mentioned it.
Okay, good, because I'm getting to the bottom of the barrel.
I know.
God forbid you start doing these things.
I tried. Nobody gave me good ideas.
It's been 2.5 months.
Why do I have to give you good ideas? Because that just says you're a bad human if you can't think of anything on your own.
I don't make good stories out of the good ones that I really do.
Well, I mean,
I'll go help pick up trash. When's the next time those chicks are picking up trash?
I don't think they want you to pick up trash with them.
I like that pause, too. When's the next time those
bitches?
There was like half a second too
I think
long.
They'll pass
like he was like, where do I go here? Do I go bitch? Do I go whale? Do I go rhino? Do I go hippo? Where do I go?
You guys are putting words in my mouth.
Do we take a break now?
Yes, let's take a break.
Oh my god, I'm laughing a lot today. I needed this, man. This is good setting us off for a big Thanksgiving weekend.
You going to the bars tonight, Seth? You do that?
Bars? I got to work. No, I'm at the dojo till like 9:30 tonight. Oh, okay. And then I didn't get to work out today, so I'm to work out after that. So I'm not going to get done.
Wow. Do you work tomorrow?
No, I took off Thursday through Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Break.
Okay.
And then the following week, I can't come have a drink with you. I'm towing my boat down to Key West, my birthday weekend.
This guy boats.
First time.
This guy fucking boats.
First time
all the way
taking
down
a vacation.
to Key West?
This guy boats.
I'm like 60% wanting to do it. I'm like back and forth. Should I just run a boat down
Tom's
there?
truck. There's peanut M&Ms and weed candies everywhere.
I'm debating whether I want to deal with the trouble of it, but I'll have the boat down there the whole time. If not, I'll just rent a boat for a day and just leave my boat here. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. back and forth.
It's first renting a boat is insanely expensive. You think that's $730?
I'd say 15% on the air conditioning.
Like boat rental is egregiously expensive.
It's crazy.
Like 2 hours is like $490. It's insane. Like a half day, you're talking like $700 to rent a quality boat or whatever. I mean, you could get a pontoon for cheaper.
Boat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
December 3rd. I leave the 2nd.
And you're turning how old?
42.
Yeah.
Is
43.
43.
But that's a baller. It's a baller move using your own. You got a nice ass
man. If I had a nice ass boat like that, there's no reason to not.
And
you got the vehicles.
It's just a lot.
It is, but there's no reason.
And I wanted to
not
stop
do it.
along the way. Like the whole day Thursday, I wanted to show. Tracy's never been down there, so I want to stop at all the sites on Keep down through the Keys.
when you go to the
day.
yeah,
so I want to stop at all the fun places. But having a boat will just complicate that a little bit.
It will complicate it, but you got to show up in your baller ass boat that you spend 6 figures on because down in the Keys, like it's not amateur hour down there. Everybody's rich and everybody has a nice ass boat. So you pull up to the bar with your nice ass boat
in your brand new boat,
and there's celebrities down there.
New.
Like Dice Man has a house.
Have you seen him after his back surgery doing backflips?
Cartwheels.
I feel like you just want me to have something bad happen down there. You're really trying to get me to go to have something bad happen.
No, but he lives next to pit bulls down there, partying.
It's a different world down there.
Everybody's got nice ass 6-figure boats. You pull up with your rental boat, they're all going to laugh at you, especially Seth Petrozelli. You got your young girlfriend. Like you put, and
hey, look at this guy, and then they'll look over at Tracy, and they'll do what every guy. They'll be like, "Hey, why don't you come over to a real fucking boat?"
Yeah, because rental boats are always like have a smaller motor than they should, and then you could tell they got the life jackets are bobo. Like everything's a little off of scrapies.
But will I use it every single day?
No,
I don't know.
You will not.
Yeah, but it's all for that one time you pull up at the boat bar, and then everybody there is rich, and you're rich.
Chicken soup.
You pull up with a rental boat. It's embarrassing for Tracy.
Doesn't even have a radio that works.
Like you want people to be like, "That's the guy that beat up Kimbo Slice."
Tracy got that high side on with her ass hanging out. You got your muscles all oiled up.
I've seen it happen. When we went to the Bahamas that one time.
Is it just you guys, or you're bringing other ladies?
No, just me and her.
Okay.
And my brother's meeting us down there.
Like,
oh, that's
good.
good.
Other people.
You don't want to put your brother on some bobo ass boat.
My brother just got a new boat too. He's got a little bag.
Double boat party.
You gotta tow it all the way down there. It's
all right.
8 hour
you
drive.
just made it 75, 25. I know it's a long. That's just
8.5 hours. Nothing will happen. Believe me.
You only live once.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
it's a brand new trailer.
Once you hit Homestead, you're halfway there. You're goddamn halfway. What the fuck?
And me as a kid, I'd be in the back of the car. We'd be going up to Virginia for the holidays. Sometimes even for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And my dad would be like, "Well, we're out of Georgia," and I'd be like, "Well, goddamn, we're close now." My dad would be like, "We got 7 more hours." What the 7 more hours? My God, how long have we been in Georgia? It's been taking forever.
Yeah. I was going to try to leave early on Thursday. That way we can see stuff because it's going to get dark early. So
you're becoming an old man if you want to sightsee. I don't think Tracy wants to do that. She wants to
like stop at some bars and like feed the tarpon, all the little sites.
I know what that means.
Then you pull off and your trailer hub glowing hot
because you didn't lube the bearings.
Well, I think that's already done, right? That should be already done as a new trailer.
Well, I mean, you go in and out of the water. You got to keep redoing. Like, you know what? I'm not even doing this.
It only went once.
Like it's splattered everywhere. It's like, why is it so hot? Anyway, all right, let's take a break.
Yeah.
We'll come back with some Dump 'Em Out.
Yeah. The name of the band is The National Parks. The name of the song is Eighth Wonder. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Show at tomanddan.com for emails.
From where I'm standing, I can't take my eyes off of this. Like the Grand Canyon or the peak of Everest. Volcanic heart.
This is going to make me sound weird, but I absolutely love it when a car dealership has a brand new location. Because I like walking in there, I'm looking around. It just makes everything look better. Our friends over at Sports Subaru, they got a brand new spot for all you Subi lovers out there.
Yep, it's a brand new dealership. They're doing their grand opening party next week that I'm going to go and check out.
Nice.
It's at the corner of Princeton and John Young in the heart of Orlando. It's 1800 North John Young Parkway. And, of course, Mike Stacks is there if you're you're interested in any Subaru product. I had a Subaru Forester, which was an awesome car. I had a WRX, which is a fun car to drive.
That's a really fun car.
Yeah. I got, my wife got a pre-owned Chevy Traverse from them. Then we traded that in. Then she got another Chevy Traverse at Don Mealy Chevrolet.
If you're a Chevy guy, it's not just Subies, but if you're a Chevy guy and you want like that brand new Silverado, maybe you want to look at some of the EVs that they might be rolling out soon.
Yeah,
maybe
mid-engine Corvette.
Yeah, maybe you want that mid-engine Corvette, and don't even get me started on like they're starting talks about electric Corvette. I'm like, oh my god, man. Yeah. JC Harrelson's our contact on that side. He's a BDM. He's been with us for a very long time, and he will set you straight. Go there, talk to JC. He'll get you in that Silverado you want.
Yep. So if you're looking for a Subaru, check out their brand new dealership, like I said, on the corner of Princeton and John Young, 1800 North John Young Parkway. It's Sport Subaru. Talk to Mike Stacks.
Welcome back to a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Seth, and we're closing out a day before Thanksgiving show.
So before we get into Dump 'em Out, Seth, during the break, said, Tracy just texted me. She wanted me to tell the other bad story where I
You know what? That's
urinated
a wonderful... urinated. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Thanks to Tracy for being a great member of our show community, for reminding him stories that like we can get content out of. We appreciate
I just thought it was a little too personal. Well, not personal, I guess.
Did you enjoy it? Were you doing it to get hard?
Yeah. No, I was in the shower. You know,
see, I don't think I can do that. Like, I think about this, and I think about, like, because I think we have, like, I'm taking this from a clinical standpoint.
No.
I believe that we have some people in our BDM, in our Tom and Dan, what do you call it? Community lexicon, whatever you want to like frame it as. Because I went into the one Discord that they had a long time ago, and there was a BDM's wife, and she had like aviators on. It's burned into my brain, and she had her mouth open, and the guy was like, and it was a huge arc, and he was peeing the yellowest vitamin piss into her mouth. So it is confirmed that there are people within our community that like being peed on.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm trying not to shame that, right?
Interesting to find two people that were into it. Like, that must be fetish luck, right?
But my point is that I'm not into it, so sometimes I think about it and I go like they're peeing, and like, is that making me more erect? Is that turning me on?
Yeah, it's like lube.
I think
is it because it's
the
naughty?
person getting peed on has to be more into it. I think the person
Not necessarily.
peeing. Yeah, you're right. But I feel like
sometimes you just go along with a kink for your significant.
True.
I see you,
but
Travis.
I feel like you go along with it if you're the peer, not the person taking it. Like, I think that's a hard sell
for your wife. Like, let me piss on your face because she's like, I don't know. I hate this. What's the only way I can jack off?
But like, I don't like that. But if Crystal said like, "Hey, can you do this?" I think I would.
No, you're the perfect guy.
It'd be easier for me.
But what if she wanted to pee on you?
That's what I'm like.
No, he would do it.
He would do it. Exactly.
Thank you. High five from across the room. High fives.
It doesn't have to be on your face.
You absolutely. If Crystal said
100%, she's like, "Let me piss on your chest."
Let me piss on your chest.
You'd
be like, "Oh,
chest." I'll let her my feet. My feet. I'll let
on your
not your chest. Oh, not his covenant.
Shut up. She doesn't want the backsplash off those nasty feet.
But it's also too awkward. I'm sitting there. I'm like,
make her feet cleaner.
I'm not doing it. So what happened?
So no. So, in the shower, she hates pee. Like, when I pee
she
in the
doesn't
shower.
pee in the shower.
No, she does not
That's
pee in the
an
shower.
elevated human.
She does not pee in the shower. She hates when I pee in the shower.
Because your pee stinks because all your supplements.
She says it doesn't.
You got supplement pisses.
Really, but I mean, I guess it's maybe.
Dude, you got supplement pisses.
But it's
you
not
pee, it smells like a vitamin shop.
It used to be a lot worse. But I drink a lot of water, so it's like
doesn't
it's
matter.
Really clear.
You also take a lot of vitamins.
Anyway, occasionally I'll go in the drain and her feet will be by, and she'll scoop back and she'll be like, ugh, and she'll get mad.
Wait, you shoot right for the drain?
I shoot right for the drain. Okay. Sometimes it's
what I do?
A little
True
bit.
story. I look for Andrea's Suave shampoo bottle.
Come on, man.
Suave.
We're on a budget. Everything with Andrea's a budget. And I piss all over them.
Come on.
Nice.
And they're the pump ones because I know she's got to touch that. It's my way of secretly knocking her down.
So last night I was just in a mood, and I had to pee really bad. Like,
did you go up?
I stretched my penis up to about my belly button. I pinched the tip of it off.
You don't need to stretch your penis to your belly button. You got a big ass penis.
And I pushed, so it came right to the tip, and it's like building up a lot of fucking fire hose pressure.
And you got the back
and
pressure.
I aimed it, because she was kind of like had her eyes open doing her hair, and I wanted to aim it like right by her boobies and like skim, like go right by.
That's too harsh, man. This is bad. This is a bad story.
And I got right. Like all over her
peed on her
chest,
tits.
right on her tits.
You peed on your loving girlfriend's tits.
Come on, we're all grown adults.
We are.
You're a business owner.
And I'd also like to remind you,
was just on fire.
There is some. Okay, write me right now.
You just had your business on fire.
Yeah. You know what? What do you think Mr. Tang would think about this? Would Mr. Tang like, oh, Tracy?
Imagine if Mr. Tang heard this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You like it?
A monkey pee very fast.
God damn it.
Sorry. You're dragging me into your side. I know for a fact that there are people listening to this that I believe that there is a woman or man in our listening audience right now. Email me, show@tomanddan.com. If there's got to be a girl that's like, I'm into that. I like that, right?
Yeah, I see.
Because it seems to be the most. It seems to be the one that everybody's like. It's like, oh, you got a kink? What's your kink? It's either one of two, feed or pee. That's it.
Yeah.
We live in a feed or pee world, man. It's a feed or pee world.
Stockings.
Yeah, but stockings, I feel like
stockings it's out right now.
That doesn't even fall into a kink
that's not
for
a
me.
kink.
Is butt stuff considered a kink?
No.
No. Some people hate it.
No,
that's true, but
I never get it.
There's an entire generation of butt out there.
Yeah, generation butt.
Generation butt.
Yeah, generation butt.
Right, that's what the whole thing was. Anyway,
what are we doing? I'm delirious now. Oh, it's dump them out.
Yeah,
sorry, I got to do the thing.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out and play. I wanna see your topics. Ooh, I wanna also see your bottomics.
Dump them out. Brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. All right, Sam, what do we got first here?
Do we want to start with the Full Sail Labs?
Oh, yeah, we can start with that. Okay, so, I mean, this is like what kind of knocked me down a peg a little bit. Maisie signed up for, and I want to work with these guys. I'm putting it into the universe. Full Sail Labs had some, camps for kids over the holidays. And for, God, what was it, 2 days ago? Monday. So Maisie's at a school. So for Monday, she signed up for, this is a crazy-ass camp. She signed up for a camp that is called Voice Caricature. So she went and she did, voice characters that kind of helped her make, a portfolio. Like Mr. Tang.
Like Mr. Tang.
Yeah,
No,
they probably wouldn't do Tang. Yeah,
they do bear, unicorn.
Bear, unicorn, elf. You got to do a couple of elf. You're not going to slip into, you're not going to do Mr. Tang. That's more adult. But no, she was able to go and do her own, character reel. And she wanted to do this. But what really...
The unicorn sounds like Mr. Tang. I know
look at my horn.
I know where he's from.
That's a great character. The man who doesn't know what his impressions are. He's like, and this next impression is a unicorn.
Oh, look at my horn.
So anyway, so May goes and she does this thing. What really knocked me down a peg, though, and it kind of made me it kind of took away a lot of the specialness of what we do. And this has been happening because technology catches you. She comes in and she's like, yeah, we used a MacBook Pro and we used GarageBand. And I'm like, show me. So I got out mine and I gave it to her and she does the same shit I do here. And that's at that point I knew that at age 7, professionally at 46, I knew what she did for fun at a fucking camp.
Okay.
And that's fucking shook my bones.
Wow.
I was like, what is happening right now? At 7, she used an interface with a microphone to do a character reel and press the space bar. That's the only fucking thing I do is make jokes and press a space bar. And at 7, dude, at 7 she did that.
Wait until you ask her where to find a lost show. You're going to ask her when she starts telling you how to use your program. That's when it's.
Why would you bring that up?
Well, I'm just.
He hasn't found Friday's ACT.
That's when the show is done, That's when you're
She's
officially
right.
an old
I'm
man.
missing a file for Friday. I'm missing a file for Friday. I'm off my game.
Oh, God.
I know, Maisie. I got to find the files. How that? I'll just slide her in here, man. Like you guys need a younger person anyway, right? And I'm the oldest member here. Just slide her in, man.
Is there now? Okay, so I've seen this a lot where the kids go and work at their parents' business, right?
Yeah.
And there's always a time where the kid knows more than the parent, I feel like the parent never admits to that. But everybody around them and in the business and everything knows this guy, the son knows more than the dad.
That's an ego thing.
Yeah. But then at one day the dad will realize that, and I feel like that's a sad day for every dad or mom or parent that their kid surpasses them in their own business that they thought they were exceptional at, and then the kid learns in a weekend at a camp.
Well, Christine in the chat room told Andrea about it. It's called Full Sail Labs. They're not a client. I want them to be. Come to us and let me advertise your labs because I'm impressed. And maybe they can do a podcast lab for kids or something. That would be dope. But it was awesome. She came back. There was a mixture of obviously that's a joke, but there was also a mixture of I'm proud that they're I like that computers are so intuitive and simple to a point where they can be as complicated as you want them to be or simple, right? I mean, she knows how to turn on the record, she knows how to hit the space bar, she knows how to plug the mic in. That's fantastic. If you want to take it to the next level, you can.
I still can't figure out why my TikTok video won't post.
All right.
So
probably talk to a kid, man.
Speaking of this, imagine one day young Javier works his way up to be.
How's he doing?
Black belt, and
he's a kid, man.
Then he ends up beating you in some sort of
in a tournament.
Oh man, I could see a forms competition. Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm talking. He beats your ass.
Like for instance, your sensei, the sensei that taught you.
He's this is for Tracy and the piss tits.
He'll get a punch in, but I'll break his leg.
Okay, but you could beat him in a fight at this point. But there was that one point you couldn't beat him, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And he proved it. Beat the shit out of us when we were kids.
And then, but now you've surpassed him. And as far as strength, and then
yeah.
But so there will
he can outdrink me still though.
There will be a day where your students surpass you.
Yeah, but I don't want to even think about that. No, I feel like
no one wants to
I'll shut the dojo down.
It's gonna happen.
I don't think I shut it down.
I don't think that's gonna happen as
Why
fast.
Why you going to business, Seth? They got better than me. I'm shutting it down.
I'm already going to be 43, and I still don't see any of the 20-year-olds doing anything to me for the next at least 10 years.
Okay, well, yeah, but then
you'll be 52 years old, man.
Yeah, I still be fine.
I feel like 49, 50.
Oh, mentally.
Well, I was about to mention, you have been getting angry a lot lately. I feel like...
no, not lately.
Like there's stories of Junior Seau as a family where you're just getting angry every day.
Yeah, he even got so mad at a sandwich. He got mad at a sandwich.
All the stories of
but
the
I was
old
like that when I was
Swiss cheese.
I was like that when I was a kid, too. For my teenage years and early 20s, I was like a switch.
But when you get a brain damage,
and then I was fine.
You go back to your kid.
I threw a bottle at my dad. He had a duck.
What if you start pooping your pants and throwing them over into the shower?
Throw him in the shower? No, I'm throwing him away.
I used you this week with Maisie. We had an accident. I used her with her. I go, I got a buddy that poops his pants all the time. And she's like, that makes me feel better. I go, he owns a bunch of businesses. And he owns a bunch of property. She's like, really?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Why she did that? She had an accident?
We all have accidents.
Tom, you made fun of a listener last week that was wearing his mom's Crocs in the studio.
Well, okay, Seth will back you up on
make fun of him again?
No.
Doubling down.
Well, he posted
That's not accidental, dickhead. That's real, dickhead.
Well, because I feel I needed to defend myself because, we have listeners that come by and watch the show. If you bought a car at one of our dealerships, Sports Subaru.
But the list now is so long that it's like trying to get Taylor Swift tickets. You'll never get it here.
I tried.
Yeah,
I was pissed off at that, too.
A house, a new roof.
I think I've got a lot. I don't know why people are trying. Not a good performer.
I was trying to get. Well, Tracy loves her, and I was trying to get her really nice front row tickets. I was going to spend thousands of dollars, but I can't. There's nowhere to be found.
So
gotta join the fan
they're
club.
out
You're not
there.
a real fan.
You just gotta pay top dollar.
Well, I'm not paying more than $2,000.
Oh, that's nothing. You can't even touch them.
Yeah.
Can't even touch them.
Bullshit. I saw some for $350 somewhere.
So
Yeah, but they're bullshit.
The listener came in, watched the show. I was doing my thing where I tell them some stories. I get to know them a little
You
bit.
wait till I go pee to do that, right?
What?
And you turn and you give them a little.
Yeah, give them the Tom Van.
So there I
experience.
was, Gravedigger, Dennis Anderson.
And so then
Rossbach.
he makes a post on the BDM page and starts saying about thanks for everybody at T&D Media. I had a good time. Tom Van was a little weird. He did some. What did he do?
He tried to touch my dick.
No,
he put his hand up my pants and was tickling my pubic hair.
He said, I was acting weird or I did something odd or awkward to it. I understand, sometimes I'm awkward, but
what'd you do?
Well, but there was a time we were sitting here, and then I think it was Brendan
You're
O'Connor.
very pretty. Did you turn to it?
Brendan complimented his Crocs because he had pink Crocs on.
And I said, I was passing to go to the bathroom. I said, I like your Crocs, man. But he knows I'm a Croc guy. What'd you do?
Well, no,
Did you go, I like your Crocs too. Let me suck your dick.
No, then he said, he's like, oh, thanks, but they're my mom's Crocs. So then I'm like, you're wearing your mom's Crocs? I'm like, that's weird. It's weird to be wearing your mom's Crocs, right?
But why'd you have to yell it at him? Why not just keep it to your fucking self? Why don't you just say, think it in your mind? That's what I tell my daughter when we're at the grocery store. I'm like, think it in your mind.
No, well, because but when you say out loud, I'm wearing my mom's Crocs, then you have to expect
There's
people
no
to
obligation there. No, I disagree. There's
What?
no obligation to react at all.
No, but someone's going to ask a follow-up question like, you're wearing your mom's Crocs? That's weird. What? Who?
Your mom's Crocs? Who?
But in what scenario? How many people are wearing their mom's Crocs? Like a middle-aged man.
The things that make you mad are maddening to me.
That doesn't make me mad, but I wanted him to.
It made you mad enough to lose a listener. Now this guy canceled his BDM. He said you weirded him out.
I'm like, you have to tell me the story after you make that statement. You're wearing your mom's pink Crocs to your favorite podcast interview.
He never said we were his favorite. He never.
No, I just assume we're his favorite.
If we were his favorite, he would have worn shoes and not his mom's fucking pink Crocs.
Anyway, so
I think he shamed him. I think he deleted it. I can't find it.
I told you he deleted his membership.
We shouldn't have brought it up. God
He
damn.
deleted his membership.
I got on there on the media page. I was like, wait a minute, you told me you're wearing your mom's Crocs.
Motherfucker made fun of me. Fuck you, Tom. I'm canceling. I want $10.95.
Is that bad? I feel like you say something that is brings on
leading us.
Yes,
leading us.
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
He's too sensitive.
Yeah. You're telling me you're wearing your dad's underwear. Then I'm like, what scenario?
I do this.
Well, I think
Let me
he
put
said
it
it
on me.
because they were pink.
Let me put it on me. I do this a lot. I've been trying to not do it. In 2022, I think I've done a good job of being better at it. I still do it occasionally. I'm reading something and I'll do this. I'll be reading alone and I'll be like, and you guys are with me. I'm on my computer typing and I'm like, wow. And I want you guys to ask me what I'm talking about.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Everybody does this. And
you're chirp fishing. I know.
I'm chirp fish.
Yeah. I want that.
Sam does it sometimes. You never
I don't
do
necessarily want anyone to ask me about it, though. I'm just legitimately reading out loud and then have a reaction.
Yeah,
that's good.
Sometimes I don't.
I'm not fishing.
But then, I feel
now that
like
I know that, I'll be able to respect it better.
Just ignore her then.
But I feel like if I
Like
don't
you do every other time, yeah.
No, but if you don't ask, then I feel like they're thinking like this guy doesn't care about me. He's not asking about why I scoffed at something.
Yeah, now you get it. Now you get it.
Anyway, what's the next topic?
World Cup Santa Claus.
I hate World Cup Santa Claus. I hate the Rackatoo Santa Claus. I hate the new skinny buff Santa Clauses. They're making
cool.
Santa Claus into a cool dude, and they're like, it's John Hamm as Santa Claus. It's a Rackatoo. It's like some dumb company.
Yeah, he's got the part, and he's got
a razor part. He's got an edged out.
Oh, the edged out beard.
No, I hate.
It's cool hipster Santa Claus.
I don't like that. That is not Santa Claus. First of all, Santa Claus does not have an edged out beard. He doesn't have time for that.
Yeah.
He's got a curly
he has all fucking year except one day a year. What do you do?
But he doesn't wear it like that. He wears a curlier, fluffier, nice, like a Santa Claus beard.
Yeah.
And he's got long white hair.
You sound old.
Well, no, I like a traditional Santa Claus, man.
Not my Santa Claus.
I've always been this way. I've always been this way, and that goes with Black Santa Claus. Black Santa Claus is completely awesome. I'm just saying.
But he needs to be fat and jolly.
He needs to be fat and jolly. If he has a fitted suit on, That's not Santa Claus. That's some European soccer bullshit. That's not Santa Claus. Santa Claus is fat.
He needs to look like a homeless man or a biker that just put on a Santa Claus outfit.
Thank you.
There was a Santa Claus. I went to a wedding this past weekend, and the father.
You go to a lot of weddings.
The father of the bride played Santa, so he looked just like Santa. I'm like, holy shit, fucking Santa Claus at the wedding.
Did you get a picture with him?
Santa? No.
Did you talk to him about it a little bit?
No, he was a cool guy, though. We had a beer together, but I didn't talk to him about the Santa thing.
You had a beer with Santa?
I had a White Claw with Santa.
Are you going to dress up as Santa at Toll Road Brewing, Tom?
I will not, no.
Are you gonna do the meadow?
I restarted my front yard, so it's all no more meadow.
But I thought your sod floated away.
Well, that's on the side yard. That's all mud.
Okay.
Like I didn't do as much.
It's a muddo.
And I'm not doing the outdoor shit anymore. That only happened the first 2 years.
Already killing his own traditions.
No, I did that only 1 or 2 years, and then it's like after that, my kids stopped caring about it. Yeah. And I can't get the goddamn tree out without making a bunch. It's harder and harder now because they
trees are getting fatter.
Well, they also will run out of the room. I'm afraid now. Like we're at that cusp where they know other logic.
You don't
and
make them
reason.
stay in
You
a
don't
room.
think they know?
Logic. I make Maisie stay in a room. I'm like, yo, it's Christmas Eve. You're in your room. You know, as soon as if you peek, I swear to God, hell's a coming.
No, they don't stay in the room anyway. I'll wake up every single morning with at least one kid in my bed.
So they'll have to cross through no matter what for Christmas.
Oh, we just start them out in our bed now for Christmas, so they don't wander out.
Brilliant.
But the problem is, then our bed is next to where the Christmas tree is. It's impossible now to do anything like secretly.
What about the old elf? Y'all still doing the elf?
Yeah, we're gonna start that. I guess. Well, I always try to start it late.
I started day after Thanksgiving. I started day after Thanksgiving. I start that goddamn elf.
I wait until they bring it up, then we'll start it. Because if I start it day after Thanksgiving, then it's every single day. You have to come up with a new elaborate. And then Crystal yells at me that it's not as elaborate enough because I was just like, "Well, hang it from the fan." And she's like,
"Just say the elf's quitting."
And then I'm like, the whole magic thing. I'm like, magic.
Still believe in magic?
Where are we at on magic? Where are we at? What else you got?
How to make popcorn.
Oh yeah, I'm the best at making popcorn. Or so says my daughter. Do you guys make popcorn?
No.
Crystal does. But
I need to talk to your wife. Does she puts the oil?
Oh, she pops it in this thing.
Yeah, I got a whirly pop.
Yeah,
I got it's an aluminum bucket. I bet there's better made ones too, and it's got a rod that goes through the handle, and then another rod comes down and has two little rods that lay on the bottom, and you fill it with a little bit of oil. You put a couple kernels in. You get it on medium high, and you slowly roast those kernels until they pop. When they pop, you dump a whole cup in there, and you pop up all the popcorn. You salt it, and away you go.
Yeah. She does something like that, but she doesn't use the apparatus because we had that, and then we didn't clean it properly. It got rusted. It's too hard to clean.
You got to clean it.
So she cooked it in an old black pot.
like a witch.
Old black pot.
A cauldron?
But she knows that. I've never done it in my time. I've never cooked popcorn.
Hers. It's good.
I've never made popcorn.
I love popcorn. Give me your recipe.
Life.
Send me your recipes.
I've never even microwaved a bag of popcorn.
I haven't had corn in 10 years.
I fucking hate microwave popcorn. It sucks. You're out of the corn game, right?
It's useless. Useless grain.
Yeah, it is real bad for you.
It literally does nothing but turn to sugar in your body.
It makes you fat.
And you poop it out.
Corn just makes you fat. That's true.
Yeah, but it's a process of eating it. It's salty.
I don't eat for pleasure. I mean, one time a week I eat for pleasure, but the rest of the time it's the fuel.
What'd you have this
your
week?
machine.
Pussy.
Hey, come on. What'd you have this week?
What I have this week?
Yeah, for your cheat.
Oh, well, I was at the wedding.
Meal.
I was at the wedding and I had au gratin potatoes. It was so fucking good.
Just a side of au gratin, but that's what most of us have with our.
So you deprive yourself of it.
But popcorn, I wouldn't even. It's not even worth it because it's not even that.
Yeah,
great.
I'll give you that. But
it's just unless it's like caramel popcorn.
Well, that's
the au gratin potatoes.
I
had a whole big thing aside.
I need to get better at it, but I just do oil. And
how often are you eating popcorn?
Maisie loves it, so that's why. And most of the time, if you just follow the money, right?
Multiple times a week.
Follow the Maisie. I make 2 batches a week.
Wow.
And the family eats it because it's a healthier snack than most bullshit.
Well, I give you that.
Because it's oil and salt. Like, that's it.
Well, what kind of oil are you using?
That's the thing. I need to find the best for popcorn oil. This is coconut oil, I think.
Well, the coconut oil goes back and forth with who you talk to if it's healthy.
Right. You're exactly right. But like, I want to know what I'm supposed to use. You know, like
try some avocado oil. It has a
what's
high
the
heat
smoke point of ghee? Because like if you talk to a lot of people,
ghee.
Like it's clarified butter. But like,
I know what it is.
Yeah, but it's good for. It's supposed to be better for you than like a lot. So I
try some avocado oil.
Okay,
it has a high smoke point, and it tastes good. And it goes good would go good with popcorn. I'd assume.
Okay,
does it taste like avocado?
No, it doesn't taste like avocado at all.
Coconut oil, like depending on what you buy, it doesn't taste like coconuts. Yeah. So, but send me your popcorn recipes. I'm getting really into it. And it made me feel good to have Maisie came home and she's like, hey, I got to tell you something. She was like, I was at lunch and I was eating my lunch and because she'll take some popcorn with her, and she's like, and my friends all told me that you make the best popcorn. And I was like, really? That's why I had you write it down as you make the best popcorn. I'm like, really? I make this? She's like, yeah, they love it. They love your popcorn.
Sell it like the Boy Scouts.
No, but I was just thinking, like, I got really,
proud.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like I do
popcorn.
I was like, so now I got to like, if I really am going to get the compliment of like some children saying you make great popcorn, sir, then I owe it to them to try to up my game and
you're
make it.
Try to change it. Don't change it. You already got to go.
But it's that stupid Orville Redenbacher pre-made. I'm sure it's
they don't know that. Just stick your name on the side of it.
No. I'm not selling it. I just I want to
tell them.
But you're not like making a brisket or something. And once it pops, it's just done.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying,
right. But it's the love of the care, and I really spin the kernels, man. I'm spinning that thing. I never let it sit. I never let it burn. Every kernel pops. Tell me when's the last time you found somebody that can control their heat like that? Tell me the last time you found somebody that can control aluminum.
I'm not impressed. I'm just saying.
You should be. It's aluminum, man. You can't control heat on aluminum like I can.
I feel like it's the easy. Again, I've never done it, but it's like you're popping popcorn.
You sound like the internet. It's a bunch of people that have never done it.
How hard could it be?
Yeah, I don't know.
How good? I mean, like, everybody makes
you want
the
me to
same
bring
popcorn.
you a batch? After or during the holiday, I'll bring you a batch.
Holiday popcorn.
I'll be like, same shit. I don't know. I've eaten popcorn before.
He's so mean.
No, I'm not mean.
You're the bad one. This is why people say you're the bad one.
I'm not mean. I'm just how different could it be from some other popcorn? It's all the same shit. Anyway,
let's move on before I get more sad.
Hockey game bailing?
Yeah, everybody likes to big talk about like, oh, I'm going to buy hockey tickets and go see Dan and do an unconventional hockey Thanksgiving.
Oh, and everybody
until the day before when a lot of people are like, oh,
can't make it.
No, you know what it is? My family found out I'm doing this, and they're really guilting me about it. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because they tried to big dick it when they found out you were doing it. Like, I'll do that too. Buy the tickets, and they're like, I can't go. My wife said, well, you're an idiot.
No. It's been more what I've been hearing. Like, I've got two people. I don't want to make them mad at me. I've got two people that are bailing now because their family found out that they were going to the Solar Bears game with me in Section 118. And then they were like, well, I mean, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. It's the same story. They're giving them the guilt trip. They're like, do whatever you want. If you want,
we'll be here by ourselves.
Exactly.
Fine.
Exactly. And that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. And I'm the type of person where when I commit to something, like when I tell you I'm going to be at something, I very, very, very rarely do I change.
Yeah,
even if if I committed to the hockey, and then my family said, yo, we really want you here, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I already told some other people I was going to the hockey. Mm-hmm. But I am in the minority. Most people will always change plans for family. I am not as loyal to my family, maybe, as other people are, or I'm just more loyal to the original plan. You know this about me. Like, I'm not... Just because I don't care who you are, if the plan's the plan, I go with the fucking plan. I'm little plan Dan.
It behooves everyone to have a flaky reputation, like myself, because it benefits you in two ways. One is that you could say you're going to anything, and then they're excited at first when you tell them that, like anybody is.
Like my grand opening, right?
Yeah, where you're like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And then they're excited, and so you get
and also Halloween party, right? Did he say
everything.
he was going to go
Everything.
there? Yellowstone?
You got another chance for my New Year's party. I got one more coming up. I'm taking pictures this weekend for it.
And here's why.
You're taking pictures for
the invite. Yeah, I got a whole future costume. It's really cool.
And
future costume.
Here's why it's beneficial. Because the Flakey reputation, the person, it doesn't dawn on the person until later on that you're never going to show up. And that's when they remember you're flaky.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this person will never show up. But it's already the transaction at the beginning where you're like, hey, come to my birthday. And I'm like, yes, I will be there. And then they're like, thank you. And then later on, like 2 days before their birthday, they'll remember like, oh, Tom Van's never going to show up.
Yeah.
He's flaky reputation. And then they get mad at themselves. They're like, I should have not even invited them. It's on me because of course he's not going to. And then when I don't show up, they're like, well, that happened. Exactly. So you get both best of both worlds. You get the initial happiness of the person.
There's so much dysfunction in this. I mean, but I know what he's saying.
But then they blame themselves for even inviting me.
And that's why I'm allowing even what you're saying to enter my brain. And I'm like, yes, there's some truth to that.
Everybody should have a flaky
Andrea and I talk about this. Where like we're not. It's not that we're not.
No, because then you get people that start to hate you for flaky.
Well, that happens after a while. Down the line.
It's not that we don't love our families or anything. It has nothing to do with any type of loyalty whatsoever. Like, we're just bigger on, like, if somebody said, like, hey, you should do this, and then somebody else comes back to us like, oh, we really want to do that with you. And if we're like, all right, it's settled. Once we've reached that point, like, the only way out of that, in my mind, not to sound like I've got my claws in you, but it's like, oh, we can't go family, like, why would you, like, or like, we can't go because, like, the kid was sick or somebody got hurt or, like, an emergency. Why would you instantly go, well, sorry, I have to do the family thing that I'm already telling you I hate? I'm telling you in the text that I don't want to do it, but I've been guilted into doing it. Why are you choosing to do something you don't like? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't your family be secure enough in their family-num for you to go like, yo, I already got plans to do this. I'm going there, and they're like, oh man, we got the.
Well, why'd you invite me? I was like, why are we all going? You're just going.
Well, they can go stay here with us. They can go too. Yeah, come on.
You got to pick your battles, like we talked about earlier.
But I never did that with my family. My family, maybe I just had a cool family. Like my mom and dad are cool enough that if I had plans like that I'd already made and then they got to be late, there was no guilt. It was just like, yeah, okay, well, just go do what you were already going to do and we'll see you. Like, sorry, we got to you late.
My sensei of flaky reputation or not going to things or not even returning calls, I don't want to, this is not an insult, but because I love him is SBK. And I learned it from watching him where he can not return text, not call, whatever. Then every time he does text me, I'm like, hey, SBK.
Right. You're excited. You're excited as fuck.
And then I'll be like, hey, we'll talk for a while. The next text goes for 2 months. Yeah. And then every time he comes back, I'm excited. And then I'm like, that's how you do it right, flaky reputation. Like you just say
you only say that because you're flaky too. No, I don't. When you're not the flaky one, you hate that shit.
Well, then I'm just saying it's a better life to live.
Sometimes
the non-flakies are going to stop inviting you motherfucking flakies to anything.
I'll always invite you.
That'll eventually happen.
I'll defer to Sam.
But it takes a while, like I said.
I'm a lifelong producer. I'll defer to Sam on this. Sometimes I think it has to do with being Ed Tilt's producer, Drew's producer, Monster producer, this producer. Like the scheduling means a lot to me. Like it means something to me. Like if we've said
my word also means something.
It's my word. If I said we're doing something, we're doing something. If you said you're coming along, and I told you I'm excited, then I'm happy. And then when you truly show me that it didn't matter, and that like at the end of the day you're going to choose the thing you hate over the thing you wanted to do only. For like I don't know, I don't know if your dad's dying. I guess I understand. I don't know. I don't want my feelings hurt or anything.
I just think you're taking it emotionally. That's the thing. Flaky reputation, zero emotion. You never think about the emotion. What does that have to do with it?
Unfortunately, I think everybody other than you in this room has got a little bit of emotion.
I would take it personally. For
I know you would. Yeah.
I do every time you don't show up to my parties.
Oh, that's where he punches your face.
I at least tell you I'm not coming.
No, I know.
Yeah, but the thing about it though is you always still invite.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that, man.
Because I want one time for your show, I'm trying to just bully you there.
That's true. That's the part that you got to be willing to like. You got to willing to be like, you know what? I'm not going to invite you ever again.
Well, that's when you have to show up right before.
Give him a little more hope. Give him a little more hope.
Listen, I know. I've been doing
a terrible person.
my entire life. What, right before Seth reaches breaking point.
That is some manipulation, man.
That is like top tier like manipulation.
It's like lighting gas. It's easy.
There it is.
Oh my God, Mr. Tang.
Anyway, what's next?
The Arizona coach being fired.
Oh, this is crazy.
Okay,
I don't even know if we have enough time for this.
I just want so the story that I read on ESPN is that the Arizona what he was the offensive line coach. He goes because they did that last Monday Night Football in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
And so it was Arizona
I don't know
against
anything about football.
Yeah, it was
the
awesome.
49ers, right?
Man, there were like 100,000 people losing their goddamn mind.
They were supposed to do this last year. They didn't because the field was too bad. I didn't even watch the game, but
it was interesting
was
to see the crowd. Yeah, I thought it looked good.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, after they had to admit the NFL, like, hey, the field's too bad last year. they had to pivot. But anyway, so the story comes out that they fired this guy and they sent him home. But the weird part about it is, you read the story, is like the Mexican police or Mexican authorities contacted the Arizona Cardinals.
Not the NFL. They contacted the team.
And then the team sent this guy home for groping a woman.
That's the thing. The timeline's a little. They don't go exact. Like I'm not sure if he was flown back before they were notified.
You can't find any record.
Was it in Mexico?
Where he did the groping?
I believe
it was
so.
in Mexico City.
Yeah,
yes.
we dug into it. Sam dug into it. I dug into it. You were reading about it.
But I'm not sure if he was already flown back before the officials contacted
that was
his employer.
My first confusion, I was like, groping a woman in Mexico is illegal? I have no idea.
That's why you go to Mexico.
That's what went my head. Literally, I thought people go to Mexico.
I'm joking. Anyway, but so then what's weird about though is that the Mexican authorities called or contacted the Arizona the team, but there was no like. Why didn't you? Like, you are the authority. Why are you?
That's what I'm saying. He may have been flown back before they were able to arrest him, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
I don't know. The timeline is sketchy there.
See, I can't find anything about that. There's nothing about an arrest.
It sounded like they called them like the police sometimes.
Because it happened Sunday night. He was flown back Monday morning.
The only thing I found that was
weird
of any merit was I found a tweet from somebody that said, some journalist that said that Hard Knocks was filming at the time and that they were currently scrubbing all the footage of the, quote, Mexican incident. So here's what I think happened. I don't think it was something where the cops would need to be called necessarily. Maybe, but there was footage of it, and I do believe it was scrubbed, and I do believe the NFL's protecting them, and I do believe that they sent him home and fired him, and I think we'll never find out.
Yeah, just something.
That's what I believe. I believe we will never find out.
What was he doing? Like he was either at some like a bar or like what was it?
Is this an Urban Meyer where the white jeans are on you? You're in your own.
Is he a married man and stuff, or is he just?
I believe he is. I believe he is.
Damn, what an idiot.
It
could be wrong. They could be estranged or.
Well, and while we're on like celebrity news, the old Todd Chrisley,
yeah,
from Chrisley Knows Best. Have you heard about that?
Me and Andrea used to watch this every night after wrestling. We'd watch wrestling right into Chrisley and then fall asleep.
12 years he's going to prison, or at least that's the sentence, and his wife 7 years for tax evasion, wire fraud, and like a bunch of other fraud. And but it's when you read all these things and you're like, oh, he frauded $30 million from the banks and stuff, and then you like he didn't pay his taxes and stuff. You're reading this and then you're like, God damn, they gave him 12 years. But I don't. What did he do?
But I think it was, and the chat room I think is going to know more than me. I think this was a pattern of behavior, and the reason the book was thrown at him is because this has happened before.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, he's been doing it for years.
Yeah, but I remember, like, he'd gotten into some trouble, and then he'd always, like, get out of it. He'd get into some trouble and get out of it. And it seems like when this does catch up to people, people are like, we're done fucking around with you. You're done.
I am fascinated by the person that can live their life, essentially. Now, I don't know if he can't sleep at night and this is tormenting him, but it doesn't seem like it is. But, like, how do you live that life? Like, the Bernie Madoff.
In a giant mansion, baby.
I know.
Traveling around the world.
But how, like, I guess it's you don't have a conscience, right? Like
I would still be freaking out, like anxiety ridden.
Like, the whole time. I mean, because you're like my whole life and persona, and plus you're a public figure that has a show that
pretending to have a wife,
like all this stuff, and then you in the back of your mind, don't you have know that it all could be crumbling down? Like you know how illegal it is, right? I mean, he knows his accountant's going to jail too. His accountant had to tell me like, hey, if we get caught, we're fucking going to jail.
You know, there have been questions of people that's like, like the one you just asked, like, how illegal that is, or that what you're doing is wrong. When I've thought about that before in watching these true crime shows, when people are doing something and you're like, you knew that was wrong. Sometimes I think that truly like weirdos, like people with like emotional, I think they can compartmentalize. They do know it's wrong. But the details, if they were to find out more of the details, that would make them, in their own judgment mind, like complicit. They would make them on just as much on the hook.
So they can ignore it.
Yeah, if I can ignore it and I can distance myself from it enough, but I know it's wrong, but I'm still distanced enough from it to be like
and I
protected.
think because they were apparently doing it for years. You know, if you're getting away with it for that long, you probably start to forget about it, right?
I remember look this up. I think they were building a mall. I think the Chrisleys at one point were getting investors. This is probably what it's all wrapped into. I think they
definitely were doing some real estate.
They were building a mall. Like I think they wanted to build like a huge fashion.
It's a company
like
department
place.
store.
Yeah, like they wanted to make a whole thing.
Then I guess his lover.
Has anybody ever watched the show? What is the show even about?
It's about their life. It's your standard reality show.
Kardashians, basically, with this guy.
But it's like Georgia redneck, like not Georgia rednecks. They're like Georgia wealthy people. Like they talk all very southern. They got like southern things and mint juleps, and we'll have this and do that. We're taking grandma down to get her nails done, but we're rich and we got Land Rovers and stuff. Like that.
The opposite of Tang.
Opposite of Tang.
Gotcha.
But it's and I used to watch it and be like, oh, this is funny, look at him, I think he's kind of gay. Not really, but it is.
There's the guy that came out.
He's the guy.
Oh, he was.
Turns out it was.
And then you had the wacky daughter, and you had the son. You had a young son and then a younger son, and the young son was like the whipping boy.
Okay, so they were like big in real estate. Right? Okay. See, I have no idea about
they were rich before the reality show and in probably like shady business dealings, and then it just got worse and worse. But it goes like with that much time. I mean, you get 12 years, even with good behavior, you're doing half of that, right? Let's say the best case scenario, you're doing 5 years. Like going and doing 5 years in prison.
But do you get to keep the money? Do you get to keep all the money? Like,
no.
Nothing of it. Nothing.
Yeah, no, I think everything's
so you got to pay for sure. You got to pay back on your taxes. You're gonna have to pay all those legal fees.
And then they
that's
take
still not as much as
now. If you got a house in Florida, you can keep it. Like I know
what
that
I'm saying is it worth doing? Would you go to jail for 5 years to have $50 million in the bank when you come out?
Oh, you don't have it in the bank. Like you get to keep your assets that are in like some sort of safe haven. Like Florida, like just what I said, like OJ. That's what I realized. Like because certain states have laws where they can't take your house, and Florida's one of them. Yep. So you can keep your mansion if you get sued for everything.
I mean, within reason. There's different things that happen, but
they don't force you to sell your home residence, and if as long as it's in the right state. But other than that, like you'll never.
Well, they'll have to pay back all those bank loans and
he'll never.
IRS.
And
that's
they took
like $30 million.
They took all his show and all his businesses, so he's never going to be able to make money again.
I mean, like, this has been going on.
He could write a book and make money off the book when he comes out.
No, I think, then you're going to get sued by everybody you defrauded, and they'll take all your future
No, he'll
earnings.
be back in some weird way. This has been going on for like the last 8 to 10 years. Like, I remember even when his show was on the air, they had a whole controversy. Like, while the show was being filmed. And they just filmed right through it. You know, like, that's how shows do now, you know, like it doesn't matter. Like you're being investigated. So what? Doesn't matter anymore. We have politicians and people that literally have investigations about them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it honestly doesn't matter.
Imagine having that looming over your head like every night.
He looked fine.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a different human.
I'm a weak person, man.
I'm weak in that regard.
I care too much.
I couldn't even go to bed thinking that I screwed someone over. Like, I was supposed to email these Solar Bears tickets last night. I was having a hard time sleeping.
Got a goddamn stroke.
Realizing that I couldn't
He
get
had a full meltdown this morning telling me the story.
Because I already promised them to the one guy. I messaged him like, you got it, buddy. They're on their way.
What happened? I missed all
the
this.
whole thing.
Oh, my God. This is all while he was looking for the keys that were in the mud.
And then I was worried about, like, I already promised these Solar Bears tickets. To the person that did, like, they just answered a post, like, who wants some Solar Bears tickets? And I said, all right.
The answer is Todd Chrisley is smarter than both of us.
I don't think it's smarter. It's a psychopath thing, all right? It's
God,
like
we need to be more psychopathic.
It's a no conscience, like the ability to not think about some sort of
greed, right?
shit.
It's just greed.
I need some greed.
Greed's different. I can have greed, but I can't have greed and do something that I know that is like, man, if they catch me. Well, just the fact that I know
bad stuff
jail could be coming would freak me out.
I think I'm going to bad stuff now.
What do you mean?
I think the second half of my life, the shorter half, all bad stuff.
No, is it called Breaking Bad?
Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's plug some stuff.
All right. Samantha, you got some semantics this week?
I do have some semantics this week. We'll be recording with
you heard
Chris
about this?
Rock from Rock Pit Brewing on Friday afternoon. He is the co-founder of Rock Pit Brewing, which is the semantics sponsor.
The chat room said Tom can't sleep thinking he screwed someone over, yet is totally okay lying to someone to their face to avoid attending an event.
Okay, well, not coming to someone's party.
Good job, Chad. Thank you.
Well, because hurting someone's feelings doesn't carry the same weight as going to prison.
He has no value of feelings.
But also,
I know that.
I have value of feeling, but I'm doing it on purpose. Like, if you invite me and then I'm like, I can't go later, I don't think it's a big deal, even though that's the thing I can't. Big deals I can't quantify.
They say here comes the justification.
Yeah.
Tom's a sociopath.
Nobody said Tom's a sociopath.
No, not coming to your goddamn Halloween party.
Whoa! Now you're making it worse.
I'm just saying, or like the Solar Bears game. It's not that, it's like, all right, some things, who cares? Like,
I care.
And it's been so
Everyone
long.
but you.
I need that one little show up to, like, put me off for the next year, 2 years, and I'll be okay.
I need that's coming. The problem is if you do it,
carrot.
You have to wait till the last moment where
he's on his deathbed, and you're like, "Let's party, bro."
Tell Seth to come over.
Say that. Why of any people like that's the guy you talk about deathbed? Plug stuff.
So tell us about your dojo.
It's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire right now. This place is lit.
The dojo's okay. Jungle's okay now too. So they're both okay. JungleOrlando.com or KarateOfOrlando.com.
Yeah.
Come bring your kids, bring yourself, get in shape, especially after the New Year. You guys are eating all this bad, fat popcorn.
Yeah. You're eating
all rotten potato shit. Come get in shape and be a better version of you.
How long has it been going on so far?
3 years?
2 years.
2 years.
This past November. This month.
Wait, that was we're supposed to do a thing that Tom can't show up to.
Yeah.
Did you start it during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Smart business.
I started this dojo during the pandemic, and I started the jungle during the housing crash in 2008.
Oh, wow. What are you going to start
Don't open any more businesses because something bad's going to happen.
No, there's a triple demic coming.
Oh, wait till you buy your Subway.
Are you going to buy a Subway?
Subway?
Buy a Subway.
I hate Subway.
What are you going to buy?
Subway. I already had a Smoothie
Miami
King. That's
How about a Miami Sub?
Smoothie King was enough.
Let's get a Miami Sub. It's back, baby. It's back. You can get the sand bucket. You can get the sand bucket with the fries on the bottom. Fucking sand bucket. A chicken finger sand bucket.
I like my food in a sand bucket. So a lot of people don't do that anymore.
I do too. Oh God! Don't even get my wife started on Miami. My wife got fat when she was fat. Andrea, she had Miami subs. My wife at one point weighed 462 pounds. That's a true story.
I like a good sand bucket or frisbee. Is Salty Sisters going to put their kids' food in a frisbee?
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
The place that puts their kids' meal in a frisbee is God. Crazy. That place. They were like, that. We don't need masks. God is here.
All right, let's get out of here. Guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you're partying tonight, don't drink and drive.
Yeah, please don't do that. It's so easy just to take a lift.
Is anybody staying at the Air T&D this weekend?
Yes,
absolutely.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
How about on Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Hide from your family.
Someone's checking in today. Chris had to run over there and give a gift box because we were We ran out of the Chinese. We put them in the Chinese white boxes.
We call it the Tang.
Mr. Tang sells those. He has a restaurant supply warehouse. So
Really?
Oh yeah, I go and get my big ass pants from
Dude, you didn't even talking to Tang.
Every time I show up, he gives me some random. He's like, "Oh, you use this. It's great for this." I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like some. You know the guy from Gremlins, the Chinese guy from Gremlins, has all those gizmos and he has all these gadgets for his.
You use this to make girls hang out with Sleepy.
This is great for dim sum. I'm like, I don't know how to fucking make dim sum, Mr. Tang. Like,
what, he gave you one of those boxes?
Can you give me some boxes? Give me some white boxes.
Literally anything. His warehouse is like
15,000 Tang, biggest Tang in town.
Full of everything. He has big popcorn maker, like professional ones, professional big ass ones. He has everything. Literally everything.
We gotta talk to Tang.
Yeah, he knows his shit. He's freaking rich off his
Karate of Orlando, and let me. What else have we got?
What else?
No, that's where it goes. Let me go off the.
Don't forget to get your Orlando Solar Bears / Tom and Dan pre-sale that ends tomorrow at noon.
Yep. Yeah. And also, all of our merch that we had at the Beer Fest will be up on Monday. So if you want to buy it, that's it. We're not making any other orders. So if you want any sort of gifts, you better buy it on Monday.
Yep.
You guys never talked about the cancellation of the couch pushing stuff.
The couch
pushing.
We did at the beginning. We're gonna reschedule.
It's like a rescheduling. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, like I felt
we're ready to go. My karate guys had fans coming out, like cheering us on.
That's a lie. Seth, I'm not coming out in the rain.
Nobody was coming out.
Oh no, we weren't coming. But if it wasn't raining, we were ready to go.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be out in that. It was terrible.
Well, we'll reschedule. We just got to figure it out. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.